think I would have lost a few dollars off that contract today.
No, that's all right. I've got to open on your contract for you. Oh. I said to Tony, I can't make him. I want him to play too, but I understand him to play with the play. Like I said though, next year you've got a free Saturday and you want to do something. Yeah. Just let us know.
Right, because there's weeks that we don't play.
Johnny, just give Johnny a couple of weeks more and say, look, I'll be available that week if you want me.
Remember?
Yeah, me too, Johnny. It's still terrific to be here. It is grand final day and nothing can detract from that. But yeah, we were just talking off there and I can't remember the last one at all. However,
thanks to all of our teams. We'll try and keep this brief in trying conditions. Good afternoon and welcome to the 2022 Grand Final. It's great to have our senior football team, Strathfieldsaye and Gisborne, and our A-grade competing netball teams, Sandhurst and Kangaroo Flats. We would like to acknowledge and extend our appreciation to the Jar Jar Wurrung people, the traditional owners of the land we're standing on today. We pay our respects to their elders and leaders, past, present and emerging, as they hold the memories, the traditions, the culture and the hopes of all Jar Jar Wurrung people. Please be upstanding if you're able for the Australian national anthem.
Always shake hands and say good luck today.
you're not meaning that it brought their skills back to yours.
No, the disappointing part was.
It was in the old days, and today, you're right, they'll just go out and apply common sense and let the players play.
If nothing else, it probably evens it up, I suppose, to keeping your hands on the footy and keeping it simple and not over-possessing. The run-in was interesting in the qualifying final. Storm defeated Square by 38, and in the second semi, Storm defeated Gisborne by 12, and then the preliminary final, Gisborne defeated Square by 2 points. And it was probably one of those games where Square will be ruining the opportunity, but we're not talking about them, we're talking about Gisborne, and they are out there now in some pretty tough conditions, just warming up.
Well, the toss has been run and won. They had to re-toss it. Must have landed on its edge the first time.
Yep.
Sharpie won it for Storm. They will kick to the city end in this first quarter of the grand final.
Strong voice and a strong supporter of regional footy for such a long time. John is a life member of the Castlemaine Football Netball Club, and the footy's in good hands next year because John has given the executive producer the bullet and will take over what will be a big season coming up. And Don Moran, we've really appreciated your support right throughout the final series and your comments, and it's great to have you on board today. All I can say is let's play. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon for Bendigo football.
Not far away from the start of this one. And Don, as they go to their positions, before I give you to Jock Clark, Braden Blake was very influential last week. He could be a big factor even though it's wet.
Yeah, he was outstanding. His best game I actually saw him play for a very long time.
So we're just about to get the 2022 Grand Final underway in the Bendigo Football Netball Leagues. The Storm take on Gisborne under some pretty tough conditions. Here's Jock Clark.
Head over the footy stuff today, boys. There's no doubt about that. You can run, but you can't hide in conditions like we've got this afternoon. Premiership for 2022 on the line, and we are underway at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. Blake up high. Good hit down to Minns. Straight out of the centre, long and direct for the Gisborne Bulldogs to half forward. Good tackle. Bounced up into the arms of a Gisborne player who was immediately grabbed, and the first ball up take place on the forward 50 for Gisborne, who will kick to the Barnard Street into the ground in just the first quarter.
We're on left half forward now. Big crowd down the Barnard Street end. Minns got his hands on the footballs. A bit of a fresh area. They're all going in extremely hard, as they would in the opening minutes of a grand final. The ball comes to the wing. In the contest is Cassidy, but it's the Storm in the direction of Sharp overran the footy. Now running onto it now will be Wilson. It goes further afield. Picking it up for the Dogs will be Vescovi. He gives it by hand to a teammate who kicks it long. That is in McKenna. McKenna's playing up back at the moment, and a mark's being paid to the Storm, and they'll go forward. Handball off, and it's given to Lockie Gill.
Gill goes inside forward 50. Not a good kick. In front, the mark's taken down there by Owen in defence for Gisborne. 30 metres out from the goal, he's defending. Jaden Owen goes short, good kick, gives it to a teammate, Paddy McKenna. What's he doing in defence of 50? His kick out to half-back, not good. Now he's put his teammate under the pump, ball in dispute, half forward, out of side for the Storm. Oh, well scooped up by the Dogs. Long kick, now they've got it at half forward. Big pack fly for the mark, going to be tough to grab him this afternoon. Banaki gets the crumb, breaks the tackle, kicks it inside forward 50. It's 40 metres from the Bulldogs' goal for Gisborne. They can't pick it up. Umpires picked out first free kick of the afternoon, and it is going to go to Storm at halfback.
That's Calgary. Calgary kicks it, but he's coughed it up and he's kicked it. I reckon it's McKenna up the field. No, it is McKenna.
Yep.
Unusual, short pass, he comes in board corridor, he goes to Spear forward of centre, he goes further afield laterally to Cassidy on left half forward to the Barnard Street end. Dogs attack, he goes into the pocket, it's 3-on-1, Storm players, they dive in after it, now it goes into the pocket, taps in the direction of Rogers. Rogers sees it over the boundary line, 25 metres out from goal, and we'll have a ball in.
It's interesting to say, Pat McKenna, he started on a wing, didn't start deep forward.
Yeah, two possessions early, Donnie, and both of them on defensive side of centre. So there's the throw-in. Forward pocket for Gisborne to the Barnard Street end, plenty up. I don't reckon either Ruckman touched it. Goes to the back of the pack. Umpires picked out a free kick. It'll go to the Storm. They've got it in defence. Shannon Geary's got it, the co-coach. Wearing the sleeves this afternoon. Probably not a bad decision, the long sleeves. Goes long to the wing, grandstand side, Reaper up over the back, good defensive punch, close to the boundary line, it is over and out of bounds for a throw-in.
It's a bit willing there too, I like that. A little bit of representation there from both sides.
I reckon in the first quarter they'll be played on the edge, Donnie. You just never know when it might tip over.
Up they go now, it's Blake, he tried a double hander out of the air, then he picked it up, a little awkward handball to Moorhead, the Mickelson medalist of 2022, slammed it on the boot, and it in fact bounces just before the line, in fact over the line. What's he going to do? Well, Rogers is trying to claim a kick for the Dogs, but the umpire says, I'm not having a bar of that. We're on the broadcast wing. Rain is tumbling down. It's a soggy QEO. It'll be Braden Blake in the ruck against Pilcher. Blake wins the tap and he gives away a free kick. In fact, the umpire signalled the wrong way and he gives it to the Dogs to Braden Blake.
So Blake's got it on the wing, grandstand side here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval. It wastes no time, goes long. In towards half forward, good kick. Well, I don't know whether it was a good kick, but it fell into the arms of Kemp. Oh, he played on, kicked it into the man on the mark, who then kicked it out of the air and got the Storm towards half forward, but it's turned over and goes back to half forward for Gisborne, where the mark is taken by Foreman.
Foreman goes inside forward 50, but it's again with the Storm, and it's a nice mark. Moorhead will go short, spots up a teammate, that's okay, and Clossy Clossy, defensive side of the circle. That kick's too severe. Sharp, it's a one-on-one contest running after the footy. Vescovi. Sharp keeps his feet. The goals are open for Sharp. Will he put the first one on the board? And misses. Gee, good build-up. Minor score, the Storm one behind. Gisborne yet to score 4.5 in the first here at the QEO Grand Final day.
Gee, he did all the hard work, didn't he, Sharpie? Just missed it. He'd probably kick 8 out of 10 of those. So the ball brought back into play, long kick. Cassidy for Gisborne. Now it's a Gisborne mark, but there's a free kick. And it's going to the Storm at half forward. So it goes back, inside forward, 50. Good mark. Well done, Reaper. Back, read it beautifully, and he marks 15 metres out from the goal he's defending. So Reaper goes wide, little kick, over to Cassidy. He marks it, goes wider again and gives it to Owen. And Owen's got the ball for Gisborne in the back pocket, scoreboard side.
He'll send it long down the wing. Spotted up a player, that's okay. Flynn Lakey. Lakey now on right half-back. Swimming pool side, kicking into a pretty strong breeze. He sends it further afield and finds McKenna. McKenna a juggling mark with the wet ball. Racking up a few possessions, McKenna at the moment. McKenna with the footy, spins the ball in his fingers as if it's a dry ball. Then he sends it long to half forward. Big punch from behind. Conway did well. Kick is smothered off the pack. Trying to get involved with the footy there was Hunter Lawrence. Might be a whistle on play. It's a free kick and it'll go to Gisborne. Free kick is with Benaki. Benaki's got the footy on right half forward.
So Benaki now drives Gisborne inside forward, 50. Scanlon the target, couldn't find him. Thumped away by the Storm defence. Just outside forward, 50-metre arc for Gisborne. Whistle on play, and it is it out of bounds?
No, it's
a free kick.
It's a free kick to Storm.
Blanthorne.
They played on, it's got to come back. So Blanthorne's got it, right on defensive 50. Well, they've had the inside 50 so far in this quarter, Donny, Gisborne.
Yeah, they seem to be just taking the wide road in, that's all.
Good kick, down towards half forward. Blake had a couple of juggles. Mark not paid. Play on, says the umpire. It's on the wing on the outer side. Good contest for the football. It's chucked out in the way of Mins. He throws it on the boot, goes to half forward. Gisborne player claimed the mark, but the umpire's called out on a full.
Blandford again.
Storm have got it at half back. And we'll rebound once again.
Nice to get a couple of cheap kicks in the grand final early from a one's out on the full, just to get your hands on the footy. He kicks it now to half forward. It'll be Storm that they shuffle the ball forward again, but seeing it over cleverly for the Dogs, it will be Vescovi. Killed the ball 60 metres out from the Storm goal. Left half forward, in fact a little closer than that for the Storm. Swimming pool side, underneath lights that are blazing. Umpire will throw it back in. It'll be Blake. He goes in the ruck work, was very good to the front of the pack. It comes, contest still forms, still on 50. Can we get a clear possession? Hurry kick by Calgary. He goes forward. Ernst is in the area as well. And so did Shishka, who got his hands on the footy. Comes off his hands and will ball it in. 20 metres around from goal that Storm attack. They lead one behind. Gisborne are yet to score. 8 minutes in the first. Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
They found a free kick off the ball here.
Oh, righto, because I was waiting for the throw-in. So it's a Gisborne free kick. Sam Graham's a player with the football. And he's got it inside his own defensive 50. Now he runs on. Graham goes long to the wing, outer side, plenty up. No one could take the mark. Crummers, gee, they'll be so vital a job they play this afternoon. Gisborne might be half a chance. Work to Panuccio. Threw it on the boot. Only gained about 20 metres. Nobody could take the mark. Kick off the ground. Favours the Storm. Back towards half forward. Outer side. Chases on. Boundary too close. Over and out of bounds to be thrown back into play. It's just outside forward 50 for the Storm. 8.5 minutes gone first quarter of the grand final. And it's Storm one behind. Gisborne yet to score. Live score sponsor Bendigo Bulk Carpets.
Rain still tumbling down here at the QEO from left to right to the Barnard Street end to the city end. Up they go in the ruck. For the Dogs doing the ruck work will be Eels on that occasion. Across half forward still for the Storm. Hands and knees. A lot of players around the footy. Backdoor receive was Bell Bartels. He slammed it on the boot and put it wide. And a free kick's been picked out. It might go to the Storm.
Shannon Geary, I reckon.
It is, and he has got a free kick. Didn't see what it was for.
No, he gave it over to his teammate there in Clossy. So Clossy goes inside forward 50 for the Storm. Not all that well directed. Ernst was the target. He couldn't get there, and it's rolled over and out of bounds for another throw-in.
It's really interesting in the conditions that today both sides have gone wide into their forward entries.
So a chance now for the Storm. There's the throw-in. Deep in their forward pocket. Ernst in front. Jumped up. Grabbed the footy. Then he's tackled to the ground. Umpire says, I'll ball it up. 40 metres out. Are you allowed to grab it out of the ruck and then you get tackled?
Yes,
I thought
you
that
sure
no,
can.
that's not a free kick
Been
anymore.
changed. Been changed back, yeah.
Another email I missed. From the ball up. Chance for Gisborne. Thrown on the boot by Cassidy. Clears to the wing. Grandstand side. Over the back. Chance for Storm. No, it's not. Player off and running down there was Bodie Stevens. But the boundary umpire said no, it was over the line, out of bounds. It'll come back and be thrown back in. On the wing. Grandstand side. So it's a real arm wrestle, boys, at the moment.
Certainly is. As the umpire throws it in, up they go. Pilcher, a big double-handed fist. It was shark by Spear of the Bulldogs. He puts it to the wing. Benaki was front and centre, collected the footy, but he was mowed down from behind. Plays allowed to go on. Mays gets involved. Little handball, little give, ineffective. Give it to Scanlon. Now they're still on half forward. Dogs looking to build. Free kick Storm. 1 for 2 high. And Blanthorne again getting involved. Dish it off by hand. Gives it to Geary.
Kick down the wing, grandstand side, better kick mark taken by Clark. So Riley Clark plays on, goes long inside forward, 50 for the Storm, bouncing ball over the back. Reaper's got it, he's under the pump, ran into Ernst. He couldn't pick it up though. It's a chance for McKenna, deep in defence, threw it on the boot, only gained 10 metres. Up they go, no one can mark it. Close to the boundary line, the Gisborne Bulldogs, they'll keep it in. Yes, they do. Thought they might have sought the boundary line safety. It's given over in the direction of a player down there in Merritt. Throws it on the boot. Kicks it about 50 metres in the direction of the goal for Gisborne. It's rolled over and out of bounds for another throw-in. Gee, it's backward, like kick to kick, backwards and forwards.
Yeah, both defence holding up really well today.
Geez, it's a hot kitchen, isn't it? It's a 1 point margin. The Storm lead. 11 and a half gone. Opening term. Big crowd. Trying conditions. Spear couldn't get his hands on the footy. Hurried kick out of the pack by Alexander of the Storm into the middle. Looking to build. Looking to attack. Fumbling footy. Still Slater. He gets involved. Sock it off the ground into forward 50. Ernst. He socketed towards the boundary line. Probably didn't mean to do that so hard. He was just trying to get an advantage and couldn't. And 49 out from goal. Storm attack. We have a ball in.
It's a long way down to your ankles, John, when you're 6'4".
When you're that big, yeah.
Not when you're my height.
Thank you, Johnny. Johnny Hunter, the man that made number 77 famous in Bendigo football circles. Ernst up high, got it down. Sharp by the defensive Gisborne, thrown on the boot. Kick towards half-back. Rolling ball goes over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. That boundary umpire, is he wearing sunglasses today? Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Pascovi on sharp, that's a big job as well.
Interesting. There's the throw-in. Still across half forward for Storm. Pilcher in front. Got it down to a teammate. It's kicked off the ground towards half forward. Baxter Slater got it. Ran into a tackle. Was able to get rid of it. Shot out in the direction of Moorhead. Centering kick. Can't be marked. Kicked off the ground, I reckon, out there by Owen. Correct. And it's gone over the line and out of bounds on the full. So it'll come back to a penalty free kick. Jake Moorhead, the reigning Mickelson medalist, will take it from just outside forward 50.
He'll kick it to the hot spot. He's too far out to score. He'll be looking for Sharp, and why wouldn't you? Good work for Scove. He just knocked him off the football. Benaki trying to get involved. Sock it off the ground there by the Storm towards goal. It was Hunter Lawrence and puts it through for a minor score. Storm, they lead by 2 points. Gisborne yet to score. 13 minutes gone opening term. Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
To tell you what, the one thing you can pick early, boys, goals are going to be an absolute premium this afternoon, aren't they?
They sure are, and like the last two entries from Strath were probably a little bit more predictable, and to the as John said, the hot spot. I'd like to see more football going in there from both sides.
So it's a long way home in these conditions as Gisborne try and work it from half back down the outer side of the ground. Kick to a contest, no one could take the mark, loose ball. Any crummers, nobody can get it out. There's plenty around every contest. Now a chance for the Storm. Kick was smothered. Rebounding ball. It's gone to a Gisborne player who just threw it on the boot, but he got it towards half forward. Wants some support. Kicked off the ground by Gisborne. Inside forward 50. Hacked off the ground again. There's no one home, and it goes the wrong side of the post. And through for Gisborne's first score of the grand final, a minor one. So Gisborne at the 14-minute mark at their first, it's a behind. They're 1 point. Strathfieldsaye 2 points. and that's the first quarter of the grand final. Life score sponsor, Bendigo Bolt Carpets.
Shannon Geary kicked it in from full-back. Then it was a shark by Moorhead who slammed it on the boot and kicked it further afield to right half forward where it goes out of bounds, and we'll have a ball in.
Well, football's all about metres gained. There's 2 kicks and it's sitting in just on half forward of Strath's forward line, city end.
Good coaching by Darrell Wilson from the bench, you'd imagine, and Shannon Geary, who kicked that ball in from full-back. Up they go in the ruck. It'll be Pilcher. He wins it to the back door, looking for Moorhead, who's in the area. There are a lot of players around the footy. One too high. Umpire let it go. Umpire Baxter wouldn't have a bar of it. I reckon it was the right decision because the Storm player, in fact, slipped into it. That was Hunter Lawrence and got one too high. Halfway between the centre and right half forward. Baxter will ball it up. 2 plays 1 behind. Storm lead.
Up they go. Pilcher and Blake, dead heat. Crummers needed, kicked off the ground by Cal Geary, not a bad kick, went wide, chance for Hunter Lawrence, good pick up, got support back from Cal Geary, who threw it on the left boot, kicked in towards the forward pocket. The ball rolls away though again and goes over the line and out of bounds. So they've got it deep in the forward pocket, Storm, right in front of the well-illuminated scoreboard this afternoon. It shows Storm 2 points, Gisborne 1 point, 15 and a half gone, first quarter of the grand final.
Umpire will throw it in. Up they go in the ruck. It's Braden Blake, a double fister, who's looking for Minns, who overran the football, and they all dived in after it. Good umpiring. They're just letting it go. Eventually, a whistle has to be blown, and the umpire will have to ball it up. 49 metres out from goal. The lights are blazing here at the QEO. Wet, soggy condition. The footy is red hot. Another stoppage, another ball up. 51 metres out from goal. Storm attack. 2 behinds, play 1 behind. Storm lead, 16 minutes gone, opening turn.
So once again, another ball up. Probably a dead heat in the ruck. Maybe Braden Blake got a fingernail on it. Can he find a teammate? He can. Bursting from the pack. Chance for the Gisborne Bulldogs. High kick to the centre of the ground. Mark claimed by a Storm player. Nothing for it, said the umpire. He's tackled to the ground. The umpire balled it up right in the middle of the Queen Elizabeth Oval.
So up they'll go in the ruck. It'll be Blake again against Pilcher. Blake won it. He tapped it straight to Doolan, but another whistle on play, and it'll give Doolan, I reckon, might have got a free kick for too high.
Yep.
And they're doing a lot of attacking, the Dogs. Well, both sides are really. It's ping-ponging a little bit. Now Doolan. Dogs, they'll go forward. Shallow inside forward 50. Good punch from behind. Socket off the ground by the Dogs forward. Shannon Geary's there. Gives it by hand to Cal Geary. Cal Geary, he'll go outside 50. Good hard attack at the footy. Minns is in the area. It's 2 on 1. Minns is the one. Keeps his feet, then loses it. He's offered support by Panuccio. Panuccio can't win it. And again, we'll have another stoppage. Ball up. Good hard footy. 1 point margin. Storm lead. 17 and a half gone, opening turn.
Great pressure, Ethan Minns there, 2v1, and he managed to lock the ball down.
Yeah, he did. He did very, very well indeed. Ball up, half forward, out of side for Gisborne, and they might win the stoppage, but there's a whistle on play, and the umpire has paid a free kick.
To Ethan Minns.
To Minns for Gisborne. Yep. He wastes no time. Plays on, turns, goes with a short kick and finds a teammate right on forward 50.
Blakey.
And there's no, well, it's far too... he's too far out in conditions like this, Lakey. The man on the mark's 48 out. So in he comes. Goes to the hot spot. Plenty go up. No one could take the marks. 25 out from the Gisborne goal. Hacked off the ground. Didn't go far. Bounced off a wall of players. They hit the ground. Kick out, attempted kick out of the air from a Gisborne player. Was an airy. Missed. They work it out, the Storm defence to about 40 metres.
There's a
free kick.
Free kick to Gisborne. I think it's Seb Bell.
So it's going to go back to...
High tackle.
Yeah, you're right. Bell Bartels has got a free kick.
Bartels. Player on the mark, what, 40 metres out? 35 metres out? But a tight angle.
He's a good finisher though, Seb. Very good finisher.
Well...
This is your moment, Seb.
15 in from the boundary. Wet ball, and that's a notoriously tough pocket to kick a goal from. Bell Bartels for Gisborne. Goes across the face. Plenty up. Off hands. Ball still alive in the goal square. Plenty battling for it. Storm defence under the pump. And the umpire comes in and he will ball it up a metre out from the Gisborne goal.
It was a rugby scrum right on the goal line. The umpire, the teeth of goal. They need to kill it here, the Storm. And they do. Was it forced? It was. Eventually, Shannon Geary put it through for the opposition, and that evens up the game. 2 behinds apiece here at the QEO. 19 minutes gone, opening term. Fresh Bendigo, grand final footy.
So the kick out, long, towards half-back, grandstand side. Blake went up, couldn't take the mark. Chance stand there for Gisborne. Player contesting was Spear. He can't get it out, and the umpire is going to ball it up. So it's at half-forward for Gisborne. Scores locked up. 2 behinds apiece. No goals on the board yet as we approach quarter time of the grand final. Hand pass blindly over the top. Went to Moorhead. He couldn't trap the football close to the boundary line, and again it's pushed over and out of bounds between wing and half forward for Gisborne for another throw in.
It's raining cats and dogs here at the QEO.
Oh, look at it.
As it hammers down. Big crowd enjoying it. So both teams, they're both going red hot at the footy. Rogers swoops on for it for the Dogs, puts it on the left. Who'll take possession? Owens, a little bit of a soccer ball. 2 in a row, 3. Then he picks it up. It's like a bit of soap. Couldn't quite win it. He battles on though. Good hard work, Dogs. Doolan offering support. We're on the wing. Broadcast side, in fact, just forward of centre wing for the Dogs as they attack. Owens did very well to put it up there, and we'll have another ball up, another stoppage.
Tell you what though, we're lucky boys. There's plenty of people under both these covered rotundas, and there's a big crowd in the grandstand that I can see. So at least there's plenty here to witness what is a tough, hard grand final. From the ball up, it's a chance for Benaki. Throws it on the boot. Gets the Dogs inside forward 50. Can't find a forward option. Umpire's picked out a free kick. Caught with the footy, said the umpire. Storm will take it in defence at half-back, right on defensive 50.
Jeez, it's tough conditions here.
Johnny, I just had a look out behind the grandstand. There's 3 blokes building the boat.
Well, and in the middle, it's really tough in the middle as well. Goals are going to be a premium. Blake's got his hands on the footy. Couldn't win it though. Difficult. Rogers offered support. He just handballed it to the opposition in Blandford. He goes forward. McKenna's there. He couldn't mark the footy. Vescovi, a little bit of a don't argue. Somehow got a handball away to Spear. Spear again to McKenna. McKenna fumbles. Oh, Moorhead, a bit of a party trick. It was a back socket kick. I don't know how to describe it. On the back of the heel and the ankles. Kept it in, but eventually he might be in for a ball in, or free kick was it? In ball up. Didn't get it right the first time. 2 behinds apiece, 22 minutes gone, opening term.
Unbelievable. There's the ball up, chance for Blake, got a finger on it, couldn't find a teammate. Moorhead works hard at ground level, umpire lets him go. He's picked out a free kick. Umpire's picked out a free, Storm will take it. So just outside defensive 50. They've got an opportunity. Kicked in board by Clossy. High kick, earns the target, thumped away by Reaper. It's 20 metres out from the Storm goal. Big pack develop, and the umpire comes in and will ball it up. I'll tell you what, boys, I can't remember it raining like this during a game.
I can't remember it raining like this, full stop. It's absolutely coming down. Blake wins the tap against Ernst. Rolling pack. They're 30 metres out from goal, directly in front. Storm attack. And still no major on the board, Don Moran.
No, and just going back to what Jock said, you know, that the 2 fellas building that arc, because we might need front row seats in there.
The 2 runners are out on the ground just standing next to each other having a chat, maybe about the weather. From the ball up, it's 1 down by Blake, threw it on the boot, got it towards half-back. They can't keep it in, it rolls over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. Donny, 3 or 4 goals might win you the game.
It's going to be a big celebration when the first one goes through.
Oh, isn't it? No doubt about that. So there's the throw-in, right in front of the broadcast box. Up they go, in front. Blake got it down, couldn't find a teammate. Shannon Geary's there, hacked it out of the air. Is it...
Yeah, he kicked it into Benaki and it looked like it went off Benaki's shin and over the
umpire
line.
didn't pick it up.
No.
I think you're right, Don.
No.
I think both sides wanted out on the full, didn't they?
Yeah.
And neither got it. It's going to be thrown back into play. Was that lightning?
It was close to it. It's going to be the war of attrition here because players are going to tire very easy. Really tough conditions. Right half forward. Storm attack. Minns gets it. He's slung. Couldn't get the boot to ball. Slung too severely. The non-officiating umpire Hutchinson, decides to give a free kick to Minns of the Bulldogs.
So Minns has got it.
Well, umpire John, man.
Just outside defensive 50. Goes down the wing, grandstand side. Big fly, Scanlon. Couldn't take the mark though. Crumbed well by the Storm. Big kick, and with the roll on the foot, he goes back inside forward 50. Gisborne defender took it. He was run down from behind by Ernst, and he's got himself a free kick right on 50. dead in front. Surely, no, he's not going to have a shot. Finds a teammate loose, though, inside forward 50. Might be Baxter Slater, is it? Who's taken the
Alexander,
mark.
Bowden Alexander.
Bowden Alexander. I knew it was one of the two. Started with a 4. Couldn't see the other side. Now, he's got it about 45 metres out on a little bit of an angle. And he's doing everything to suggest he's going to have a shot at goal.
I like the way he threw some grass up. It just wasn't...
It fell straight down. It fell straight down at his
What was he going to
feet.
get out of that? Just have a look at the rain, mate.
So
there it is.
Alexander has fired a goal for the Storm, and the crowd tells you he's put it through for the first major of the grand final this afternoon. Storm go to 1-2-8, leading the Gisborne Bulldogs. 2 behinds, 2 points. Live score sponsor Breach Apparel. Bendigo, 25 minutes gone first term.
The chase down from behind by Ernst to run down Owens was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Absolutely. They win grand finals. As we go back into the middle, it actually looks like a shiny bit of glass. That's how much water's on it. Wait till they slip through it. It's Blake. He wins the tap. Ball didn't go hardly any distance at all. Benaki running through the middle. He received a handball. Then now he put it inside forward 50. But floating across the pack, it looks like Conway. Conway now with the footy. He's got that sporting a mo nowadays, Conway. He goes long to half forward. It's a 60-metre ball in the wet conditions. Moorhead, handball received. Inside forward 50 now, looking for Ernst. Under pressure. McKenna playing up back. Feeds it over the top to Vescovi, and Vescovi should have time and space.
Oh, I don't know. Well, yeah, maybe he does. From the back pocket, goes to half-back. Poor kicks, cut off. Mark's taken down there by the Storm, and they'll go back. Deep inside forward 50.
McCarty.
Opportunity as McCarty puts it in. Flyers at the back, beat everybody, goes over the line. No, it doesn't. It's kept in. Chance for the Storm. They've got it. Deep in the forward pocket. It's worked over in the direction of Clark. Under the pump. Threw it on the boot. Went high just past the goal square, and it was knocked through for a minor score. I think, well, the umpire's talking to the goal umpire, and they're both talking to the boundary umpire, and the winner is the boundary umpire. No score's going to be thrown back into play. So it's 1-3-9 Storm, 2 behinds, 2 points Gisborne, 26 and a half gone, first quarter of the grand final in a tough conditioned game here at the Queen Elizabeth Oval.
Actually, they take that point off now, so it's 8 Jock. They
Yes.
took it off just as you mentioned it. Top of the square now. Starting to get muddy and gluggy there as well. Kicker smothered out of the pack. Calgary picks it up. He goes on the left. He goes goalward. Just misses.
Gee.
Opportunity there. That was very, very gettable. 1-3-9 Storm, 2 behinds Gisborne, 27 gone. Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
Yeah, it's starting to get really slippery, isn't it? So, interesting to see whether we get a new ball. Are we going to play with the same ball all day?
Well, in the old days they used to. They used to use 2 balls and swap them and clean them up at the quarter breaks. Let's see. Well, the kick out now came from McKenna. Goes wide to the outer side, finds a teammate. Chance for the Gisborne Bulldogs to work it out of defence. It's kicked from defensive 50. Wobbly old kick up to the centre of the ground. Nobody home. Mark's taken down there by Wilson. Goes to half forward. Opportunity for the Storm. They can work it back inside forward 50. Clark, up they go. Front of the goal square, tapped over the back. Good defence by Reaper. And it's over the line this time. Clearly out of bounds. It'll be thrown back into play.
We mentioned earlier about Paddy McKenna. He's now punching the ball out of bounds, deep back 50 at the moment.
Yeah, interesting move having him there. A goal kicker, and they'll need goals this afternoon. Blake, front position, taps it in the direction of Doolan. McCarty gets involved, Storm, as the rain continues to fall. Umpire blows his whistle, and 20 metres out directly in front, Storm attack. We'll have another ball up. Up they go in the ruck. Shepherding the ball out, Blake, then he managed to pick it up and put it on the boot. It spills wide. Defensive punch. Doing well there for the Dogs was Webber. We'll have another ball in 15 metres around from the Storm goal. They lead by 7 points, 7 behinds, 29 gone opening term.
So the ball will be thrown back into play, deep in the forward pocket, scoreboard side for the Strath Storm. As Johnny said, they lead by 7 points from the throw-in, work to the front of the pack where it skids and rolls and just jiggles its way over the line, and we'll do it all again with another throw-in. I reckon the boundary umpires boys are going to earn their money this afternoon, aren't they? So there's the throw-in, deep in the forward pocket. No other of the ruckmen got a hand on it, but Blake at the back picked it up, gave it to a teammate by hand who threw it on the boot. Clears defensive 50. Gisborne after the football's hacked off the ground. Umpire says, well, interesting, the Storm boys want it deliberately out on the full, and the umpire will have nothing to do with it. It'll be thrown back into play, won't it?
Yeah, pretty tough.
Why was he facing us?
Well, I thought he was going to throw it forward then.
So did I.
A right half forward. It'll be Blake versus Pilcher. Pilcher a little tap. Benaki couldn't quite pick it up. Clossy sockers it forward for the Storm to 50. They've got numbers here. Moorhead's in the area. Keep his feet. He does well. A lot of players now. They'll have to dive in after it. Eventually, attrition took over. A little bit tired there in forward 50. Ball up, another stoppage.
I tell you one thing that's been good though, there's been some fierce tackling, but it's been with a view to the safety of the other player.
Intensity has been up, Jock. As the siren sounds here at the QEO. Well, they're at it in the middle here, the boys. They don't want to go to their group. Ernst comes in and really throws his weight around. So there's a lot of feeling here in this grand final, in this opening term. The intensity has been up. The siren's gone, so there can't be a free kick given. They'll just have to sort themselves out. Well, what an opening term we've got here in the 2022 grand final. Don't go anywhere as that continues on. A little bit of an ooh in the background there, Jock. A few of the boys. It started off with Ernst, really, who ran in at a rate of knots and got involved.
What's the jumper punch called when it slips up?
Yeah,
just a punch.
It chinned him. Let's all take a breath here. Do not go away if you're home in the man shed. You've got the pot belly going because we've got a red hot game of football. The Storm lead 1-3-9 to Gisborne, 2 behind on fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
Turn the waters up.
It's on a dimmer switch and they've gone to the next level.
That's it.
Second term about to get underway. John Hunter to get us started. Storm take a 7-point lead into the second term for the 2022 grand final.
Goals are going to be at a premium. It's very soggy. The rain has almost stopped momentarily as they all fall on the footy. Umpiring has been pretty good in that opening term. They let it go and marginally forward of centre. We've got a stoppage and it'll be a ball up as Gisborne, they attack marginally, looking to get their first one on the board. Blake puts it in the direction of Benaki, keeps his feet, really slippery hard ball. Somehow he manages to put it on his boot inside forward 50 to McKenna, who I like up there now that he's been moved. Getting involved also was Clossy for the Storm. Benaki, handball quickly, gave it to a teammate in Allings. Allings goes inside forward 50. Harry Conway mops up nicely, gives it to Shannon Geary over the top, and now they'll settle the Storm.
Clever work. Mark's taken in defence by Stevens. He's gone towards half-back for the Storm. Thumped away at ground level. Champed for the Gisborne Bulldog. Good work, Blake. Got it out in the direction of a teammate down there. The player to kick it forward was Graham. Goes towards the goal square. Plenty of numbers back there. And in fact, it's come off hands for a minor score for the Gisborne Bulldogs. So they go to 3 behinds, 3 points. There's one straight goal the difference. Storm are 1 goal, 3, 9 points. Minute into the second term. And its live score sponsor, Bendigo Bell Carpet.
Shannon Geary kicked it beyond 50. He played on from full back and a sliding Pilcher took it on the chest nicely for the Storm. Now he goes by hand over the top. Don't overpossess in these conditions. It's a long ball to the centre wing. Contest forms. Reaper. Handballs in the direction of Bell Bartels. Couldn't find him. In fact, puts it over the boundary line and we'll have a ball in.
We'll just go back to that last entry from Gisborne. Why would Ethan Foreman fly with Pat McKenna when he's a small?
Yep, good point. You need to be working your way through those sorts of things. Throw in on the wing, out of sight of the ground. Taken by Pilcher. Hand pass to the front, might be stolen by Benaki. It is, he's tackled. Gee, he might have been tackled high. Umpire reckons he was. And a free kick to Benaki on the wing. Now he runs on, wastes no time. Kicks pretty long, up towards forward 50. There's a marking contest. Scanlon was in it. Nobody could bring it to the deck. On hands and knees, players from both sides work very hard over the footy. And the umpire comes in to ball it up. 60 metres out from the Gisborne goal. And they are yet to kick one. They're 3 behinds. And the Storm are 1 goal, 3 early in this second term.
Baxter, umpire, throws it up in the air. Benaki runs onto it and then runs over the top of it. It is actually really bright. The sun's out. We could be in the tropics. Benaki, by hand, he gave it to Panuccio. Now they'll go forward again. Top of the square, looking for their player in McKenna, who's playing down there now. He started off half back. Hurry kick out of the pack. It was by Nayland of the Storm. It goes to the defensive 50. Hunter Lawrence is there. He won the footy, then lost it. Blake, hands and knees. He did well. Put it out to Lakey. Lakey now straightens up. Short pass. Looks for McKenna. Good defensive punch behind Storm. Panuccio runs onto the ball for the Gisborne. Can't find it. 51 metres out from the goals that they attack. The Dogs, and we'll have a ball in. The Storm lead by 6 points. 3.5 gone, second term.
Look, it's a game of moments, and Paddy McKenna had a moment, then he just laid an egg, dropped it.
So there's the throw-in, just on forward 50 for Gisborne. Plenty around the contest. Nobody can get it out. It's hacked off the ground. Favours Storm, but only as far as half-back. Now another pack develops. Hands and knees, kicked off the ground again. Inside forward 50 for the Dogs. Up went Spear, couldn't take the mark. In fact, it was Kemp. No one can get it out effectively. Can they find a little bit of clean air to work with? They can't. It's kicked back towards full forward. Came from Blake into the goal square. Chance down here for Gisborne. Kicked off the ground. Defence, well, safety was the better part of valour there for the defence of the Storm, and they've put it through for a minor score. So Gisborne doing all the attacking at the moment. A 4 behinds, 4 points, trailing the Storm 1-3-9.
Shannon Geary short by foot from fullback to Harry Conway. In his defensive arc, Conway for the Storm now. He'll look for Moorhead. Front position. Did well, Dogs. It was Doolan. He got a fist in there. Trying to run through the pack was Riley Wilson. Couldn't. Then they'll lose it. A kick forward by Gisborne, the Dogs. But that was Vescovi. But a sliding Blanthorne takes a mark, who's been pretty good on his defensive arc for the Storm.
Blanthorne goes short. Player unmarked was Wilson. Riley Wilson takes the mark, runs on, kicks to half forward, and he got dumped. And it'll be a downfield free kick, and it'll go to the Storm. And in come Lockie Sharp. Very quickly he swooped on that like a seagull on a chip, but he wasn't allowed to take it. Scott Baxter...
Slater. Scott Baxter's umpire.
Exactly. He took the kick, kicked it into the forward pocket where it came off hands, went over and out of bounds for a throw-in.
You're probably likely to see ducks instead of seagulls up here today with the amount of water that's sitting on the ground.
Could be. You never know. They get around though, those pesky seagulls. Throw-in. Now it's deep in the forward pocket. Storm down there into the ground.
Up they'll go in the ruck. Pilcher. The Mins at the bottom of the pack. A fresh airy. Umpire let it go. Mins fought on, battled hard, ground level, 49 out from goal. Another stoppage ball up. Yeah, the sun is definitely out. It could be in the tropics, couldn't we? Pilcher won the tap to no one's effect. Graham, Dogs, little bit of a toe poke. That was ineffective. Now it's with the Storm through Riley Wilson trying to get involved. Graham picked it up for the Dogs. His kick was smothered. Ground level again. Another stoppage is just about upon us, and it is. Umpire comes in, we'll ball it up. Left half forward, Storm attack. 5-point margin, Storm lead, 6 minutes gone, second term. Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
So the ball's just outside forward 50 for the Storm. Pilcher went up. He got a secondary tap, but it went straight to a Gisborne player who threw it on the boot. Went down the wing, grandstand side. Chance down there for Foreman to hack it off the ground. Found some support. Here come the Dogs. Long kick. Inside forward 50. There's nobody home from either side. Races on. Chance for a Gisborne player to pick it up. The player down there was Ellings, and he's put it through. There weren't any numbers from either side when it was kicked there, and the race was on, Donny, and they got there, and Ellings was the one. The space opened up, he hacked it off the ground, and he's put it through for Gisborne's first goal of the grand final, and that has given the Gisborne Bulldogs the lead. They're 1-4-10, leading the Storm 1-3-9, 7 minutes gone, second quarter of the grand final. Live score sponsor Variety Superstore, Strathvillage.
I'll get you to tell me about that goal in a minute, Don, because it was very, very clever. He showed composure then. Ellings is back into the middle. Pilcher against Blake. Blake picks up the footy. It's very, very slippery, hot footy. Pilcher ended up with it. It was given to him. Too high, Dogs. And it'll be a free kick to Benaki. Benaki, he'll look to go forward now. He tried the tube, kicked the fat side of the footy. Ellings comes off hands, back of the pack. May's getting involved. Blanthorne as well. Shannon Geary will just fumbled at the wrong moment. He'll get pinged. Umpire Baxter will ball it up. And I want you to tell me about that goal, Don Moran.
Well, it was from the centre of the ground. It was kicked deep into the forward 50, and there was the race was on, wasn't it? So Scanlon and Ellings was first there.
From the ball up, chance for Shannon Geary, well taken, threaded the needle, got it on the boot to half forward. Oh, Lockie Sharp, good mark. Then he played on quickly on the left foot, goes towards half forward. Target down there's his teammate Kayla Burns, chases on. Reaper's right with him and the ball beats them both over the line and out of bounds for a throw in.
I think Lockie Sharp surprised himself that he marked that overhead mark.
He did, and I suspect Cal Geary saw Don, so he's on the bench. I'll get you to have a look at that. They're looking at his lower leg. When he came off, he was limping.
So there's the throw in, just inside forward 50 for the Storm. Good deep throw in it was too. They go to ground. Everybody appeal, including most of the crowd, appeal to the umpire for some sort of a free kick, and the umpire will just ball it up. 40 metres out from the Storm goal.
Up they go in the ruck. It was Pilcher again. Oh, running through the pack. There was Benaki. He's getting a lot of the footy. He tries a tube again. Fat side of the ball. Oh, it slipped through the middle. It bounced a long way. Ellings couldn't quite get it. Conway does for the Storm. Dishes off. Still strong, hard tackling. Now it's mopped up in these conditions. Go figure. Hunter Lawrence. He goes short. He finds Wilson. Riley Wilson further afield, wider. Kicks it to a teammate who kicks it long inside forward 50. But a diving Merritt, his first possession of the afternoon that I've seen anyway for the Dogs. He's been pretty good the whole final series. He'll slow the game down.
So he's got it deep in defence. Goes down the outer side and finds a teammate. Well, play in front.
Pat McKenna up on the wing again.
Yep, and he's taken the mark on his chest. Now he plays on McKenna. Goes long to half forward. Good mark at the back by Conway. Gee, that's a couple of good marks we've seen in a row, and I don't think there were too many I can remember for the whole first quarter. Conway goes wide, though. And I think he's put it out on the full. He has. So he's turned it over. Free kick Gisborne on the wing, outer side of the ground. Here they come again. Chances the kick goes inside forward 50. Plenty up. Mark is claimed. Will be paid. I think it will be. Was that Merritt down the ground?
Yeah, it was. Yep.
Who's taken it, played on, and kicked out on the full.
We got plenty of purchase on it. It was just inaccurate, wasn't it? It was a couple of good overhead marks. Maybe it's driving out, Jock.
Could be.
Dogs by a point.
Well,
Hunter Lawrence
Grippo's
now
working.
Plays on, kicks it beyond defensive 50. They'll set themselves front and centre. Moorhead bangs it on the boot. It will come into the middle. Slippery conditions, slippery middle. They need to keep their feet. They do. You'll lose it if you don't. Storm getting involved. Riley Wilson. He's had a fair bit of the footy. Hurry kick out of the pack. Looks like Merritt. Now on the end of a handball. Fumbling footy was Bell Bartels. Tried a soccer ball. Was ineffective. Merritt. He rode side by side, then picked it up. He'll go long looking for McKenna. Juggling footy. Great mark. We'll put another one on the board if he's good enough.
Wet weather mark, wasn't it? It was a two grabber, protect the drop, and now let's see what he's got here. We're right behind it, aren't we, in that pocket? So,
I'll tell you the other
Jock,
thing.
you're in the best spot here.
Donnie, I reckon what's attributing to some better marking, I reckon they have changed the ball at quarter time.
McKenna stands on the boundary line, 40 metres from goal. This year it was known as the Elvis Presley end, the city end. Crowd are behind him. He'll step inside a little. He opens up the arc. It won't be a goal. It'll be lucky to be behind, in fact. Just sneaks through, and that increases the lead from 11 to 9. 11 and a half gone second term. Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
So Calgary, you mentioned about
Yes.
on the bench here, getting some treatment from the Strath trainer. It looks like he's probably got a hamstring by the look of it. Pretty high, so he might be done for the day.
It's well strapped too, isn't it? So Conway kicks out from full back. Oh, gee, not well directed. He's kicked it straight to McKenna, who's taken the mark from just outside defensive 50. McKenna goes inboard. His kick not all that good too. Wanted Mins. He picked it up, then lost it in a tackle. 40 metres out from the goal. Mins goes and gets it again. Kick across his body to the front of the goal square. Hot spot. Nobody could take the mark. Picked up by Ellings. Threw it on the boot and kicked. A minor score. He kicked the only goal so far for Gisborne, and he was a chance there. Just put it the wrong side of the stick and threw for another minor one. So Gisborne peppering the goals a little bit at the moment. They're 1-6-12. Storm are 1-3-9. 12 and a half gone. Second term of the grand final. Live score sponsor Breach Apparel.
Conway kicked it out from full back, and he's kicked it out of bounds on the full. And it's quarter time in the MCD FNL grand final. Harcourt 3-1-19 lead Carisbrooke, 2-1-13. That's a fresh live update coming from the MC at FNL. We'll keep you up to date with those scores as they come to hand this afternoon. Top of the square now, Gisborne attack. It's become muddy in there, and as all players dive in after the ball, they trap it in. We'll have another ball up.
Well, just an update, John. I just saw Calgary shake his head, and I think he's done for the day.
Yeah, I reckon you might be right. He wasn't happy at all, and he wasn't moving too well. So that would be a massive blow to the Storm. Meanwhile, the umpire is balling it up about 40 metres out, directly in front of the Gisborne goal. Up they come. Big hit out by Pilcher, kicked off the ground by Moorhead, clears defensive 50, goes to half-back, Storm player takes it. He's locked up in a very strong tackle, and the umpire will ball it up. So Gisborne have done most of the attacking in this last 5 or 6 minutes. Up they go this time. It's a dead heat in the ruck. Chance down there for the Storm defence. Player was tackled though, lost the football, hacked off the ground inside forward 50. Bodie Stevens went after it for Gisborne. Has he? No, he's just got it off the ground over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in out of side of the ground.
Wow. Calgary, in these conditions, it'll be tough to be replaced, but it just means someone else has to stand up. Up they go in the ruck. Socket off the ground, inside 50 now. Graham can't pick it up for the Dogs. He's 35 out. Now he does, but he's besieged by 3 Storm players who tie him up for another stoppage directly in front.
He worked hard then though, didn't he, Graham?
Yeah.
On that footy.
Second effort was good. You need a second, third and fourth in the grand final. Lakey might have got one too high, Dogs. Umpire didn't see it that way. Little handball to a pack of players again. Umpire circling, whistle to the mouth, blows the P, and we'll do it all again. 40 out in front directly. Dogs attack, 12 playing 9. Dogs lead, 14 and a half gone second term.
Apart from 7 players, everybody else in the forward 50 for Gisborne. Hard to get some space down there, that's for sure. From the hit out, taken by Moorhead. Kick across the body, goes to half-back. Plenty of Dogs out there though. Can they bring it back? They can. It's kicked towards Merrin, inside forward 50. Can't find that player. It's over the line and out of bounds. Deep in the forward pocket, scoreboard side, and yet another throw-in in Gisborne's scoring zone, and there's a player down on the outer side. They've stopped play. It's a Storm player.
It's, let me have a look there. I reckon it's Bowden Alexander, the pest.
Sorry to coin that one.
Wow.
That was what the boys down home tagged him as.
Well, his family's probably watching too and listening.
Probably a lovely guy off field.
Well, he is. We don't care if he's a mongrel off the field, but he's in a bit of trouble, I can tell you right now.
Trainers are around him.
Yeah.
He's on his haunches.
He might be, in fact, winded. And winded, I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it can be pretty tough to get sucking back in, when, particularly being running hard in a final too, Don.
Yeah, and he's that size player that the amount of stoppages that we've seen and
oh, no, there's claret.
Okay.
I tell you.
That's changed things, hasn't it?
There is some serious claret coming from his nose. They'll tape it back up. Well, he can't tape a nose up, but you can play with a broken nose, can't you, in the grand final?
Have you already decided what the injury is?
Well, if there was a nose there, I don't reckon there's a lot left. There's a lot of blood going down his leg. He's actually, all jokes aside, he's pretty wobbly, so he's copped a pretty nasty whack across the beak.
It's unfortunate if he's done, because that's 2 down now. So
yeah.
Rotations are going to be at the premium for Strath.
He's a pretty tough cookie, I don't
He is, yes.
think he'd
Agree
be
with
done.
that.
I think he'll just get some running repairs.
No, he's a bit wobbly.
The game's
I think
being
he's
held
done.
up. Oh.
Dr. John, you might have it.
Yeah, well, when there's that much claret, I'm telling you what, it's all down his arms and down his legs. Not trying to alarm his family. It's definitely a broken nose. The trainers had a real good look at it. Jeez, must have been the forceful type of whack. As we'll reset here at the QEO, lights are ablazing. Storm trail. They are 9-12. 17 minutes have gone in the second term. They're just waiting for him to come off the field, and replacing him will be Hunter Lawrence. We'll get a good look at it as he comes off the ground.
Meanwhile, it's just about to get play back underway, and it's to be thrown in deep into forward pocket for Gisborne in front of the scoreboard. 17 and a half minutes gone, second term of the grand final. Up they go, in front Pilcher. Got it to the front of the pack, Benaki chases it down. Can't keep it in, it's over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. I tell you who's lifted his game, and I reckon he's been very good so far this quarter, is Benaki.
Yeah, he has been.
He's been all over the place, covering a lot of territory.
And Bowden Alexander was running with him, so that's probably going to free him up a little bit.
So from the throw-in, forward pocket for Gisborne. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Nobody can get it out effectively. Close to the boundary line. They keep it in, go to ground. Nobody can pick the ball up, and the umpire comes
free
in.
Kick, Jock, free kick.
It's picked out a free kick. Go to the Storm.
Flossie.
Deep in the back pocket. Chance to break things out a little bit. Kicked it straight onto the chest of a Gisborne player.
Benaki again.
On defensive 50, who plays on, goes back to the hot spot, up they go, no one can take the mark, 10 out from the Gisborne goal, plenty of numbers around the contest, hand pass wide's good, over to Stevens for Storm, goes short to a teammate, who's locked up in a tackle.
Jeez, he's put Riley Wilson under some serious pressure there in
Didn't he?
40 out, hasn't he?
And in a bad spot.
Oh, terrible spot.
Wilson was able to hold it up.
Why go inside when they're clearing it from
the
defence?
umpire will ball it up.
Pilcher, he won it. He put it down the throat of Riley Wilson, that man that you mentioned. Smack bang in the middle of the QEO, slippery conditions, hurried kick out of the pack. Will it go down the field?
Yes.
It was late. It was Spear. It did get dumped. Well, the umpire's adjudicated, so that's the way it is. Eels with the footy, free kick.
Gee.
Just in a grand final, I like to see those one let go. Probably technically, maybe we'll give it to him. Doesn't matter. Eels is having a shot. I reckon the distance might test him here with a wet, soggy ball. What an awkward kicking style. Not even close. It's deep into the pocket now. Foreman's in the area. He gets pushed over. Did well, the Storm, just to kill that footy for a minor score. So it's now 1-7-13. Gisborne 1-3-9 Storm. Almost 20 minutes gone, second turn.
Kick out long to half-back out of side or chest mark. Dropped by a Storm player. Now puts them under the pump, and they should have the numbers to get out of trouble. They do through Hunter Lawrence. Rolls it down the wing on the outer side of the ground. Reaper makes a great contest for Gisborne. Holds it up, wants some support, gets it, then goes back in and gets it himself. Goes to his knees, can't get it out effectively. It's at half forward now for Storm. Outer side of the ground, plenty of numbers around the contest. Umpire lets them play. It's not going very far at all, close to the boundary line. I think they're hoping it might go out of bounds. And eventually, to everybody's relief, including mine, it does. And it'll be thrown back into play just outside forward 50, outer side of the ground. But now, Storm in their front half and doing a little bit of attacking.
You sense they need a goal just to get a bit of the momentum. Hurried kick out of the pack. It was grabbed by Pilcher. Didn't really look. He kicked it straight down the throat of Spear of the Dogs. Spear in his defensive zone. Spreads it wide. Finds Webber. Webber takes a mark on right. Half back, then he plays on quickly. He'll go to McKenna, spots him up. He's got Merritt running for him. He looks to Merritt. He'll go long. He spotted him up. Good bit of play. Gee whiz, that unfolded like a book in front of me right then.
Yep. Play of the game so far. Easy.
Yeah, it was dry weather football, and it sees Matthew Merritt with the football lining up on goal.
It's the first time we've seen some connections through kick mark, haven't we?
Yep.
Instead of kick grass mud.
That was impressive build-up with the wet footy. Merritt now. I sense he's too far as well with a wet, slippery ball. He gets underneath it. Oh, the wind's got it. It's a goal. Oh. Good goal, Merritt. Wow. Best bit of play of the afternoon in this grand final so far. Live score sponsor, Meat Matters. That takes Gisborne. They will be now, what are they on, 2-7-19. To 1-3-9 the Storm. 22 minutes have gone, second turn.
Well, it was interesting. We saw Eels take a kick from the similar spot and didn't get the journey. And we just saw Merritt go back and just absolutely unload with a heavy ball, and terrific and brilliant finish.
Well, I can tell you the guy that came off is done for the day with the nose. Johnny, you're patient.
Yep.
He's all over, and it looks like Calgary.
What's he, straight to the showers, is he?
Well, he's down there with the doctor, but yeah, don't know. From the ball up, it's worked towards half forward again for the Storm. Coming after it was Sharp, overran the football, needs some support, gets it, Chance down there for them to pick up. Player after the footy was Clossy. Can he shake his tackle? He can. Then threw it on the boot. Haphazardly went inside forward. 50. Pack develops. Umpire's going to ball it up 40 metres out from the Storm goal. And you are right. You would suggest that the Storm do need one here in a very low scoring contest. There's the ball up. Blake tapped it over the top. Found a teammate who was immediately locked up in a tackle. And the umpire comes in to repeat it all again and ball it up. Same spot.
So noisy crowd in the background.
Oh,
no blood rule. It's Blake, Braden Blake. Can't see the blood from here. Got the binoculars on him. He's running off the ground. The crowd liked it.
Check his knees.
Yeah, nowadays they like to see it running though, don't they? So it must be... Well, they do. You can get away with some blood nowadays as long as it's not stagnant, if you like. Once upon a time they used to have one speck on you and you had to go off, but things have changed for the better. Now, umpire, he's talking to a lot of the players out there. He's actually decided to ball it up. So up they go. It'll be Eels against Pilcher. Pilcher won the tap. Doolan picks it up for the Dogs. Hurried kick is smothered. Radcliffe picks it up for the Storm. He's tackled. Slinging tackle. Umpire says advantage. In fact, it was a throw. So it will go back. It'll be throw for the Dogs. It'll be Foreman who gets the free kick. Don't like seeing him down back. I'd rather see him in the forward zone.
Well, Gisborne would be happy that it wasn't paid advantage either, because Strath was set up beautifully behind the footy.
Minns receives from a short pass. He slows down the ball. Now down the line. Left footer. That goes 40. Good kick. Looked for Scanlon. Couldn't find him. Come off hands. Ratcliffe dived in over the top of the pack and held it in. Good defensive bit of play. And we'll have another ball up. 10-point margin. The Dogs, they lead the Storm. 24 minutes gone, second term.
Ball up on the wing, grandstand side, tapped over the line and out of bounds to be thrown back into play. So the Gisborne Bulldogs boys have done all the attacking this quarter, really.
They've had all the play, haven't they? There's a bit going on behind the ball too.
I'm not sure. Have they got enough reward on the scoreboard, Don?
I would say today any advantage on the scoreboard is a bonus.
Fair enough. There's the throw-in. Ernst in the ruck. Got it to the front. Taken by Benaki. Worked his way through and got it to a teammate who took it down there. That player was Rogers. He threw it on the boot. Got it to half forward. Here come the Storm again. High kick. Inside forward 50. Player taking it down there was Foreman. Lost it in a tackle. Hacked off the ground. 40 metres out from the Gisborne Bulldogs goal. That's locked up. And the umpire comes in to ball it up again.
It's really starting to mud up, isn't it? 30 straight line through to the goal square, isn't it?
Reminds me of the days in the 90s when we were playing down in Kyneton, Don. Remember those heydays? That's what it's like now at the QEO. So that's an indication of how much rain we've had. McCarty, he picks it out for the Storm. He sent it wayward wide. Graham tried to pick it up for the Dogs. Couldn't. Clossy, he runs towards the boundary line. He's got Bell Bartels on his hammer. Footy wins, goes over the boundary line, and it will be a ball in. 70 around from goal, 10-point margin. Dogs, they've got the lead. They've got the scoring end in this quarter. Ernst, ruckwork, he taps it straight down the throat of Lakey of the Dogs. He puts it inside forward 50, front and centre. It was a good pick-up by Scanlon. Scanlon banged it on the boot, put it goalward. Just slews left. Out of bounds, ball in, hard up against the point post, 10-point margin, Dogs lead, 26 minutes gone, second term, fresh Bendigo, grand final footy.
So waiting on the boundary umpire. He'd have to be in the votes this afternoon so far. He's been a very busy umpire. There's the throw-in. Up they
there's
go.
a hold in the ruck.
Yep. Umpire's picked out a free kick. It's going to go to Matthew Merritt for Gisborne. Gee, was held in that run contest, and you're right, Donny, you could see it, couldn't you? It was pretty obvious.
Well, it's been there all year that if you tug on a jumper, you will give away a free kick, and Ernst's just done that.
Well, Merritt's kicked a goal, and now he's got an opportunity from 35 metres out on a bit of an angle, goes for home and hits the post. Now that is absolutely dodging a bullet. Storm.
Just watching the Storm players just go through their rotations. They're coming off with plenty of energy lost.
2-8-20, Gisborne, 139 Storm, 27 gone in the second quarter of the grand final. Live score sponsor Breach Apparel Bendigo.
Shannon Geary received the kick from Conway, the kick in from full back, now deep in the back pocket for the Storm. He'll send it long, beyond forward 50. He kicked it straight to Braden Blake, who took a chest mark. Back on the ground for the Dogs. You're right, he's got a taped knee. It's a long kick, didn't affect the kick with a wet, heavy ball. Kemp was the target. Just a hurried kick out of the pack. They're asking for a free kick. It was Jack Naylor, who banged it on the boot towards the boundary line. Umpire wouldn't have a bar of it. And 20 metres round from the goal that Gisborne attack. We'll have another ball in. Gisborne lead by 11, 27 gone.
So the boundary umpire to throw it back into play. Deep in the forward pocket for the Gisborne Bulldogs. Up they go at the back. Merritt got a hand on it. Can't find a teammate. Players dive on top of it. Pack develops and the umpire will ball it up yet again. 35 metres out from the Gisborne goal, closing on half-time in the grand final. And it is an 11-point lead to Gisborne from the ball up. Ernst chased the footy, couldn't pick it up. They tug and pull at it on hands and knees. Nobody can get it effectively. Chance for a hack off the ground by Storm. It favours them. Ball rolls towards the centre of the ground. Gisborne player took it, lost it. Another kick off the ground. It's in the centre now. Chance for the Storm. Went to Ernst. Oh, he took it, threw it on the boot. Missed. He was tackled. And it's a free kick to Gisborne. Play on's the call. It was allowed. Go inside forward 50. Loose ball, front of the pack. Picked up. High kick by the Dogs towards goal. Well, in fact, it didn't go towards goal. Went towards the boundary line. Shannon Geary under the pump. Got some support from the boundary line as it went over the line. Everybody screams for out of bounds deliberately. I don't think we've seen it all year, have we?
No.
Well, Scott Baxter put his whistle away. If I had the whistle, I would have played that against Shannon Geary. That was dropping the ball. Absolutely red hot.
He was caught?
Yep, totally.
Yeah, he had a fresh area at it, didn't he?
Yeah,
Well, he had prior opportunity.
Disposal.
Benaki sweeps on the footy. He gives it to Webber of the Dogs. He'll go goalward. It's wide and out of bounds on the full. Jeez, there was a couple of opportunities that have gone missing, gone begging there for the Dogs, Don.
Well, it was really interesting. You know, Braden Blake's dominating the ruck, and they've had 2 stoppages inside their forward 50, and he hasn't taken the ruck. Merritt has. Why wouldn't he push himself down there and give them a look at it?
Well, he's propping himself across half forward.
Conway.
Just outside the 50-metre arc.
Sends it beyond 50. He's looking for Mays. Spear, big punch from behind for the Dogs. Good, hard, strong tackling.
I appreciate that, Jock, but we
Lawrence.
went 30 minutes in the first, and we were at 28 minutes when they occurred.
Yeah, true.
So you'd run the gauntlet, I think.
There'll be a little bit of extra time, though, won't there, for the injury?
Blake puts it down the throat of Benaki. He tries to feed it off. They'll come again here, the Dogs, under a lot of pressure. Conway, he did well. He gave it to Moorhead, who's been relatively quiet. Graham tried a soccer ball for the Dogs, overran it. Soccer's the name of the game at the moment. Storm on that occasion. They did well through Riley Clark. Another soccer. This time it's Graham. Can't pick it up. He decides to soccer it to Merritt. Merritt picked it up like a dry ball. On the left, he'll go shallow inside 50. Scanlon's there. Front and centre. Keep your eye on him. Doesn't go his way.
All right, Braden Blake, get yourself there.
48 metres out from goal, Dogs attack.
Where is he?
About 20 metres off it, and he's just letting them, yep.
Well, fair enough. Scanlon contested it. Got it down to Merritt, who threw it on the boot into the goal square. No one can take the mark. Oh, the Storm defence are under the pump. Geary comes in and kicks it off the ground and concedes another minor score.
Allings was unlucky then. There was a kick off the ground by the Strath defence, and his hands were right there.
Just couldn't hang on.
No, it was just probably close to being an in danger call.
139 Storm, 29-21 Gisborne, 31 gone on the clock, second quarter of the grand final. Oh, the kick out, close to the boundary line. Boundary umpire says out on the full penalty free kick. Benaki will take it just outside forward 50 for the Dogs. Wastes no time. Goes towards the hot spot. Up they go. Big marking contest. No one could take it. Danger here for the Storm defence. It's only 15 metres out from the Dogs' goal. Big pack. Umpire comes in. Ball up again.
Teeth of goal here for Gisborne. Must be only seconds remaining. They'll need to kill it here, the Storm. They don't need another one on the board. Blake, he won the tap, but they're all tied up again. Stoppage.
He must have heard me, Jock. He took the tap then.
Well, you did mention last week he was a bit sore too, Don, if I recall, but doesn't seem to have hampered him since then. As another ball up, another lot of players around the footy. We're going to have to do it all again. We are going to have to do it again at the teeth of goal. So 21 playing 9, Dogs lead, 32 minutes have ticked over in this second term of the grand final.
think the Storm will be keen to get the half-time break, Donny, and just have a reset.
Oh, geez, their backline's been under so much pressure.
Exactly, from the ball up, and it still is. It's only 20 metres out from the Dogs' goal. In fact, the Dogs player picked it up, threw it on the boot. Just as he did, he was tackled. And did it go over on the full? No.
Is it?
Touched.
No, touched.
Yeah.
And it'll be another throw in. And another one deep in the forward pocket for the Dogs. You wonder how long the Storm can keep them out.
All right, so watch Mins and Benaki here.
So it'll be Pilcher and Blake in the ruck. Blake needs to tap it to advantage, but Pilcher, he had the strategic position at the front there. Then he puts it to the feet of, well, 4 or 5 players all around it. If not more, another stoppage, another ball up. 21 playing 9. Storm, they've done well in the last minute or two. We've ticked over 33 minutes in this second term. Dogs have had a good quarter. Panuccio, clever. He tried to tap it goalward, didn't quite get enough purchase of it. Still ground level. Ratcliffe picks it up for the Storm. His handball, it was errant, it was wayward. He was lucky he had teammates in the area just to kill the footy. They dive on it. And good result for the Storm not to concede. As it's half-time here at the QEO in the 2022 Grand Final. The Storm 1-3-9. They trail the Dogs 2-9-21. And before we go for a well-earned break, Don, just give us your initial thoughts on this opening term of this Grand Final.
Just coming back to what Jock said, yeah, Strath will be really happy with going to break now. That their defensive
1-3-9 to Gisborne 2-9-21. Just about to get the second half underway. There's no tomorrow for one of these sides. They need to get on their bike. It's a 12-point margin for the second half. Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final. Here's Jock Clark.
Well, you're right, Johnny. There's only half a game of football to be played by both these sides. But a long 6 months to reflect for the loser. Pilcher and Blake. Blake won it down. All-important takeout. No one can get near the football. It's an absolute glue pot in the centre. Why wouldn't you throw it up either side of it? Just a thought, boys. He's going to be another ball up. Almost still in the centre. Now it's just on the side of that gluey cricket area. From the hit out, one down by Pilcher, got it to a teammate. Stevens took the football, lost it in a tackle. Loose, players from both sides go in hard, still towards the centre of the ground. Chance for Gisborne, kick out of the centre quickly, marked by Scanlon, just outside forward 50, turns, wastes no time, long kick. Up to the front of the goal square, off hands, goes towards the back where it's tapped over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in right next to the behind post. Gisborne, I think, boys, finished that second quarter full of momentum. They look to be starting it again in this third quarter, so we wait for the boundary umpire to throw it in deep in the forward pocket for Gisborne.
Sun is back out now. The rain has stopped. Merritt does a ruck work, tries to tap it Panuccio. Mins picked it up. It was a good effort, but just lost the ball. Still slippery. Scanlon picks it up for the Dogs. Hurriedly kicks it towards goal. Whistle on play. Might be a hold. It goes to the Storm.
to Shannon Geary.
Yeah, Shannon Geary. He's been pretty good. Short pass. Spots up Wilson of the Storm, deep in his back pocket, near the social club for the Bloods that will no longer exist after this season. Short pass.
The brave
finds Conway. They went corridor to half forward. Ernst is the target. Also, Sharp was in the area. Spills into the middle. It was a nice little give to Clossy. Give it to a teammate to half forward. Dropped the mark he should have taken was Hunter Lawrence. Now he just taps the ball, tries to put it goalward, but it's with Lakey of the Dogs. He did well. Blake is there. Long way to bend down. Tries to pick it up. He can't. Diving in after the football. Did well was Cassidy. He's been quiet for the Dogs. Play is allowed to go on. Hurried kick spills towards the boundary line, towards Merritt. And it goes over and we'll have a ball in. As the Storm attack across left half forward, 9, they trail Gisborne 21, 2 minutes gone, third term.
Sun's come out again, boys. Nearly time to get the bathers on. Throw in. Just outside forward 50 for the Storm. Out of sight of the ground. You'd think they'd love to get a goal on the board early after only scoring 1 point in the second term from the throw-in. No one could win it effectively after it was Benaki. Tries to pick it up. Got it over to a teammate who threw it on the boot. It's Foreman towards the centre of the ground. Can't find a teammate. Every single possession is absolutely in dispute. Who can tap it along and find a teammate? Nobody can get any clean air. Umpire circles. Now he comes in, you ball it up. It is back still in the middle of the ground.
Well, it's certainly bobbling around, isn't it? It's just no one can get clean hands on it and pick up that slippery ball.
Up they'll go in the ruck. It'll be Blake. He tapped it down to the throat of Benaki. Benaki's kick, it spills into the middle. They're playing corridor, both sides at the moment. Weber, he's shoveled it out to Mins. Mins puts it on the left. It goes high, up and under kick. Panuccio picked it up like a dry ball. Put it on the outside of the boot. He's got a running Allings. Will he pick it up before the boundary line? He can. Inboard goes to Kemp. Kemp's been quiet so far. Now he goes goalward. It goes wide. It won't score. It's well done by the Storm. They'll clear to the outer side. Bouncing footy. Good work. It was picked up there by Slater. Slater, it was effective. Teammate running side by side, kicking it off the ground. Running, soccering ball still towards the boundary line. Gisborne see it over safely. And they have managed, the Storm, to inch it up towards half forward. And we'll have a ball in 9 playing 21.
You had your chance to use Pomo then.
I did. I actually forgot what the word was for a moment then, Donnan. I'll have to write it down.
It just sounds rude to me, Donny. So I'm not used to it. There's the throw in. Across half forward, outer side of the ground. Blake over the top, got it down to Benaki. Good hands, found a teammate. Kick forward by Cassidy towards half forward for the Gisborne Dogs. Whistle on play. Free kick Storm across half back.
Shannon
Geary.
And now a 50.
Oh, and a 50. So important in a game like this. So Shannon Geary, instead of being across half back, now comes to the centre of the ground. Wastes no time. Scraps a kick, bounced about 3 times and rolled inside forward 50. Sharp the target. Can he pick it up? He can. Under the pump though, couldn't find a teammate. And the scrappy old handball.
No, he's got a free kick.
Well,
Sharp has.
Yeah,
Sharp's got a free
Bell
kick.
Bartels unnecessarily flung him to the ground.
After he got rid of it.
After he got rid of it.
Sharp now with the free kick. Wastes no time. Plays on. Inside the forward pocket. It comes off hands and rolls over and out of bounds for a throw-in right next to the behind post. So now the Storm deep in attack. They've got an opportunity. They trail by 12 points. 5 minutes have gone. Third quarter of the 2022 Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final here on Fresh FM.
The umpire throws it in. Ernst in the ruck, but it was Blake in front position. And he just fumbled a ball. Slater offering support. Hurried kick. Good work. Spear tried to punch it. He found Reaper. Reaper stepped over the line defensively. Smart move. He had to do it, which takes the score to 1-4-10. They're trailing Gisborne 2-9-21. 6 minutes gone, third term.
Perfect defence. You've got a goaltend today, and Jack Reaper did that beautifully.
So the little kick out okay to Reaper. Had plenty of space, and he pops a nice little pass down to McKenna, who takes the mark at half-back. He's been Paddy everywhere today so far, hasn't he? Now from half-back, McKenna goes down the wing, grandstand side. In front, why wasn't that a mark? Storm player took it on his chest.
Must have been touched off the boot.
Must have, yeah. It's Mays.
Yeah, well, he's just signalled that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's why you blokes are getting the money. There's the ball up on the wing, grandstand side. Was tapped down by Blake. He hit a teammate. Was immediately locked up in a tackle. That was Lakey, and we'll do it all again. Still, ball up, grandstand wing.
Blake couldn't win the tap on that occasion. Rolling pack. Mins at the bottom of the pack. He's tied up. Another ball up, another stoppage. 11-point margin. Dogs lead. 6.5 minutes. Third turn. QEO, Rayner stop. Blake got a bit of a push by Mays. Was allowed to go on with it. And again, we'll have a ball in. Right in front of us. Moorhead is back on the ground, I think he has. He stayed on the pine for a couple of minutes at the start of this term. It looks like Mins is going with Moorhead. Lakey for the Dogs. Ball is shovelled out. Hurried kick from the pack. Spills wide. Running onto it. Dogs through Cassidy. And again, another ball in. McCarty got his hands on the footy, which he hasn't had a lot of this afternoon for the Storm. Ball in, 11-point margin. 7 minutes gone.
He's been very quiet, and you'd think the conditions would suit him too.
Yeah.
So throwing on the wing, grandstand side. I think I said that about 2 minutes ago. Up they go. Blake won it down, couldn't find a teammate, tries to do his own roving. Umpire's picked out a free kick, said there was a throw. Storm free kick on the wing. Player to take it down now will be Lockie Gill. No. Gave it over to a teammate. Can he get it back? He can't. It's kicked long. Inside forward 50. Sharp in front. 2 defenders over the back. Ball probably beats everybody. Dance down the back. after it was Spear under the pump, lost it, picked up by McCarty. He's thrown it on the boot, kicked it into the forward pocket, couldn't find a teammate to take the grab. Desperate defence by the Dogs. They clear it towards half-back. Bouncing ball beat everybody. Storm player took it. Was he pushed in the back or holding the ball? Umpire says Storm free kick.
That was a huge tackle.
So Geary, again, inside forward 50, finds a teammate. Storm mark, 40 out, slight angle. Boy, it's taken him a while to get to this position.
Not sure I agree with that either.
Baxter Slater with the football. With the free kick.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're right about Cal Geary too, got involved in the last contest. He was a bit proppy though, but he's out there, deep in the forward zone.
So Baxter Slater from 40 metres. Goes for goal, wrong side of the stick and through for a minor score. They claw the margin back to 10 points, the Storm. 8.5 gone third term. 1-5-11 Storm, 2-9-21 Gisborne. That is live score sponsor thanks to Bendigo Bowl Carpets.
Spear for the Dogs will kick it in. Decides to play on, then he runs to kick it to the swimming pool side. They'll set themselves. Owens, good mark for the Dogs.
Yes.
He's got a shoulder taped. Now he goes further afield. It was ineffective kick picked up by Shannon Geary, who is racking up the possessions. He sends it back whence it came inside forward 50, looking for Sharp. Just on the end of a handball was Cassidy. He just flings it goalward.
He's been hit for a
towards the
throw.
boundary line
No.
to ends. And
Umpires paid a free kick, John?
well, it was right there. You called it right. It was a scoop, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
It was there every day of the week. And now it's Ernst. This is giving an opportunity for a player that's been pretty quiet to get his hands on the footy and kick a goal.
Well, it's full of moments, isn't it? And here's his moment. He hasn't had much of it, and he's sitting in front of the scoreboard.
It's a
Got
difficult
40
shot.
out in the boundary.
In those conditions, it'd be almost a miracle.
The amount of times from that pocket that we've said that and it's been a goal. This one, geez, it was close ball. Made the umpire work. A good effort, but not good enough. So Storm go to 12. Gisborne at 21. 10 minutes gone third term. Fresh Bendigo. Grand final footy.
9-point ball game. From the kick out. Spear goes short and kicked it straight to Calgary, who's marked on his chest now a fit.
And he's looking for a handball here.
Yeah,
He cannot kick
Calgary.
this. He is not going to be able to kick this.
This would be well within his range, but with a dodgy,
This could seize his day.
Hammy.
Yeah.
he's got to kick it from 48
He's gone on the left.
on the left. He gives it a ride, doesn't make the distance off hands, and off the back, Reaper just, again, tapped it through for a minor score. So the margin back to 8 points. They're chipping away at this Storm, point by point.
Yeah, Liam Spear's going short and he's 50, and that kick in, I wouldn't be going there. Here we go, a bit longer this time.
He keeps going to that side though, Don.
Yeah, that's okay. At least he's outside the forward area.
As a step over the boundary line. And it will be another ball in. So,
He picked Galgiri out before.
it was a decent kick on his left, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which usually, when you're kicking, you get drive through the leg that you're not kicking with as well. So he did get a bit of purchase on it. So we might have some good news there. Let's write him off like I did at half time. It's picked up by Clossy of the Storm. He lost the footy. Eels getting involved for the Dogs. Hurried kick out of the pack for the Storm. Little give by hand. That was okay. It's in the direction of Stevens getting involved. In fact, kicks it over out of bounds on the full, and it will be the Dogs' free kick. And the man with the footy is Zach Vescovi.
So now all the momentum seems to be with Storm the last 5 minutes, but they can't do much on the scoreboard except chip away with the behinds. It's kicked wide by the Dogs in defence, and a mark's taken by Spear, still in the back pocket. Now he indicates where he's going to kick it. He kicks it to half-back. Nobody can take the mark at ground level. Chance for Wilson under the pump. Got rid of the football. Squirts out loose. Calgary goes with a hand pass back in the direction of a teammate there in Conway. He can't handle a slippery ball. It spills out of his hands and over and out of bounds for a throw-in. So it looks like Calgary's Donny playing in a forward pocket.
Yeah.
Throw-in just outside forward 50 for the Storm. Pilcher still got a big thump inside. Can he put someone on the end of it? He can't. Desperate Dogs kick. Only travelled about a metre. Moorhead's in there, makes a contest. So does Rogers for the Dogs. Ball locked up and we'll have another ball up. 45 out from the Storm goal.
Ideally, if he's playing deep there, you'd be trying to work him over as much as you can, even in these conditions.
I've got a netball update for you in B grade. A 2-point win to Sandhurst. They are premiers against South Bendigo. So some good grand finals going in. On half-back now, Mins, short pass, finds Foreman, who takes a mark in the centre. Foreman of the Dogs plays on now. Left footer. It's a long, low ball.
Jack
Scanlon,
what a great
good mark. Dodgy shoulders and all, Jack Scanlon. Took it in front of his eyes like a dry ball, Don.
He's even showing it too.
Yeah, it was a ripper grab.
Geez, it'd be a good kick from there. I don't think he can. That breeze is still coming from left to right, from Barnard Street to the city end. He's facing it directly in front, spinning the ball.
Perfect kick is a 3-quarter to Pomo.
Probably. It didn't go anywhere near Pomo. In fact, it spilt wide. Webber tried to run off with a footy, but it's going to be a free kick. And Conway, short pass. Geez, he's making his teammates work. Finds a teammate, which is okay. Storm now will go to half forward, but it's all with the Dogs at half back, and they'll look to rebound their back through Nick Doolan.
Doolan's got it, played on. Wasn't a real good attempt. Got it to Graham under the pump. He's thrown it on the boot. So the Dogs have worked it to half forward where Panuccio's got it, but he's immediately locked up in a tackle, and the umpire comes in to ball it up.
Well, it's been a while since Gisborne have had that forward pressure. They're coming now, so let's see what happens.
So across half forward for the Dogs. Dead heat in the ruck. Loose ball. Attempted kick off the ground. No, Moorhead left it because someone had their hands near it. It was a good decision in the end. And the umpire comes in to ball it up. Not moving too far, boys, from one end to the other, really. Between the arcs. There's the ball up. Blake in front. Got it down. Can he find a teammate? Worked out to Graham. Graham puts it on the boot for Gisborne. Gets it inside forward 50. Contest. No one could take the mark. Dogs can't take it. Storm clear towards the wing. Grandstand side. Ball closes towards the boundary line. Reaper picked it up. Was very happy to just step over Jack Reaper, wasn't he? And let it go out of bounds for a throw in.
Umpire will throw it in now. 13, playing 21. Gisborne lead. There's only been 3 goals kicked for this whole game so far. Shannon Geary tries to collect one-handed, then lost it. He'll stand at the top of the pack and just wait to see if it squeezes out, and it doesn't. And umpire Baxter, award-winning umpire Baxter, I believe, from this week. Could play footy in his day too, Don, ex-Castlemaine boy. Oh, a bit of party trick there by Moorhead, over the shoulder. He's laying on his ground like a beetle. Picked up there by Doolan, who did well. Gisborne, in fact, it was Cassidy, couldn't effectively get the possession away. Umpire Baxter, the man we speak of, blows his whistle, and we'll have another ball up. Across half forward, Storm attack, ball up, 13 playing 21, 16 minutes gone, third term.
Storm need a goal, you'd think. There's the ball up. Nobody can get it out effectively. Blake tries to do the roving. Moorhead got it on the boot. Got it inside forward 50. Couldn't find a teammate. Kicked off the ground by Reaper. Cleared the immediate area. Then it's hacked off the ground again. And Reaper takes the mark. He's in everything at the moment. Goes with a little pass and finds Braden Blake, who's taken the mark for Gisborne on defensive 50. Been very good today for the Dogs. Blake, again, in a final. Stands up. Goes down the wing, grandstand side marking contest. Nobody can take it. It's over the line and out of bounds for another throw-in.
You've got to take your hat off to Jack Reaper. He's the professional defender. When he's out of position,
Yeah.
he takes body. When it's a ground ball, he keeps it in front. He's doing a great job for a tall defender in these conditions.
He makes cool decisions, doesn't he?
He sure does.
Braden Blake, he's in the ruck. I'm just thinking if he continues on his way, it's hard to remember a more dominant ruck performance in a final series than Braden Blake for a while.
He's had plenty of opportunities to look at it, hasn't he?
Oh, hasn't he?
How many stoppages have we had?
Around the grounds, though, he's been good as well.
For
he's
sure.
using his body, and he threw that ball out.
Yes.
Blind Freddie could see it.
Hang on.
Yeah, no.
It was the right decision.
He'd almost got away with it.
Umpire Baxter was blindsided. Umpire Bennett wasn't. He was 50 metres away, and ordinarily they would have got away with that, and they were out. So Clossy now for the Storm. He'll have a free kick, halfway between wing and right half forward. It's covered in mud. Well, they all are, let's be honest. He'll go looking for Sharp, who's quiet. Got a little bit of a touch on it, but couldn't quite grab it. He's still in the area now. He soccers it off the ground. He soccers it into that position of most opportunity, which wasn't on that occasion because it gets rushed through for a behind.
Position of most
What did
opportunity.
I say?
No, you had half of it.
21 playing 14, Storm trail.
You're going to modernise yourself halfway through the game, are you, Johnny?
Well, I tried.
Good on you. Ball's kicked out, clears defensive 50. Dogs player
Oh,
claimed
that's
the
a-
mark, not paid. He's tackled to the ground.
Yeah.
Umpire says Hunter Lawrence had him in a bag, and the umpire says, no,
I'm
I'll
surprised
call
there's
it
not a
up.
bit going on after that because that was a pretty
Do you
ordinary
reckon he
tackle.
dumped him into the
oh,
ground?
for
pretty-
sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Just outside the forward 50 for the Storm. They've been attacking so far, and they've added in this term
Benaki's got it now, free kick.
5 straight behinds. Now Benaki's kick down the wing out of side's okay, and he found a teammate.
McKenna.
Who is it?
McKenna.
McKenna.
Yep, he'll go short. Finds Kemp, who's been quiet, to Jock. Haven't really called him. He had a big final a week or two ago, playing up forward. Now Kemp, defensive side of the centre wing. You put it down the line at the back of the pack. The only clean player there for Gisborne is Bell Bartels, needs to get himself dirty. Surprises me that he's not the player that is. And it's going to be a free kick. It'll go to Hunter Lawrence of the Storm.
So Lawrence has got it. Half back, outer side of the ground. Weighs up the options. And he kicks long to a contest. Up they go. Oh,
Braden Blake again.
yeah, Gisborne. Easy. Blake picked it up, seemed to have space. High kick towards half forward. Chance down here for Gisborne. They've got some support. It's worked over to Ellings. Ellings goes to 40 metres, fires a
Touched.
goal. Gee, we just touched on the line.
Lanthorn, absolutely magnificent.
Oh, well,
Thought that was home.
He was mid-air. I had the binos on him. He mid-air when he touched it, and he was parallel to the ground with his back, and he landed on his back.
super effort. Minor score. Margin back out to 8 points. 1-8-14 Storm. 2-10-22 the Gisborne Bulldogs. 20 minutes gone. Third term. Live score sponsor Bendigo Bulk Carpets.
Shannon Geary kicked it to half back, but it's straight to Braden Blake again, who hurriedly kicks it out of the ground, shallow inside forward 50. Storm will mop up across half back. Reaper, diving mark on the wing. Slid into it, hit him on the chest. Now Reaper. He's building up the stats as well. Most players are forward of the footy as we speak. Reaper now, bullet ball, low, ineffective. He's coughed it up. He kicked it straight to Riley Clark, who went over the top to Moorhead. Moorhead by hand, kicked it straight back to a running Reaper, and he's ran 80 metres to get back to defend that ball.
So Reaper's got it just outside defensive 50.
A wedgie stats. He's had 2 in 2 seconds.
Kicks down the wing, grandstand side. Blake went up, couldn't take the mark. Benaki the crumb, locked up in a tackle. Well, he's been pinged, has he, for caught with the footy?
Yep.
So Storm free kick on
McCarty.
the wing, grandstand side. McCarty to drive the Stormers back towards half forward.
He's kicked it straight into the man of the mark in Panuccio. Webber, he mops up for the Dogs, puts it on the left, around the body, bouncing footy. It'll go over the line, and it will be a ball on. Scanlon tried to grab it and couldn't, and across half forward now as the Dogs attack will have a ball in. So, long shadows, believe it or not, hit the QEO. We've had 4 seasons in one day. They should make a song about that. As the umpire throws it in. Blake, he's got the back position. Pilcher won it on that occasion. He's been under the pump. Good handball. Panuccio to a running Webber, who was running shotgun side by side. Then he puts it wide. He couldn't quite find his mark over the line. 20 metres out from Gisborne goal. Ball in.
He didn't kick it to the hot spot on that occasion, Donny.
No.
No, that's a dry weather entry, that one.
Fair enough.
I'm going to dump it and practice it next year, Don, if that's all right with you.
Yeah, go for it.
As the umpire throws it in, Scanlon in the ruck, taps it, Clossy. Don't know how he got rid of it. Crowd, they umpired it, and I reckon it's right.
Ellings has been rewarded.
Free
here.
kick. It was there, I tell you what. And Ellings has got a chance, relatively quiet this afternoon, to put one on the board.
Well, he kicked their first goal. He kicked Gisborne's first goal. Chance to kick 2.
Well, he was the one that was on the end of that receive when Blandfield did that courageous save.
He's a lively forward, isn't he, Ellings? Ellings, he skipped and poked and punched at the ball and missed it easily. Just kick through the footy when you're having a shot at goal. For God's sake, you blokes. 2-11-23. It's just that simple, isn't it? To 1-8-14.
Where are the old full forwards?
Oh, boy. Ball goes to the outer side wing. It was from the kick in. Frustration in the box. Moorhead. Little bit of a fresh air. Bell Bartels. I'll say it again. A clean Bell Bartels, who is a midfielder. And he's cramping, in fact. And it will be a stoppage. And it'll be a ball up. Outer side. Whistle on play again. Non-officiating umpire. Benaki tries to play on with the advantage. He's told he can't. And Owens is on his haunches. I reckon he might have got one in the breadbasket, Don.
I definitely, you actually saw that.
Is it Hunter Lawrence?
Yeah, just before he led, he gave him a whack in the guts.
Lakey received. Lakey now for the Dogs. Inside forward 50. Oh, little handball. That was effective. It was Foreman that created, and he gave it to McKenna, but McKenna was tied up, and at the top of the square, in that position we all love, we'll have a ball up.
Jack Reaper's not happy with that. He's letting him know. So, Riley Clark, I'd keep some eyes in the back of your head, mate.
So the momentum's with the Gisborne Bulldogs at the moment. The umpire's called another ball up. It's only about 20 metres out from their goal. And I'll tell you what, there's no worries about the crowd down there. They've got excited about this. They've moved out from the shelter. The crowd's built up pretty well, especially in the grandstand. From the ball up, plenty around the contest. Nobody can get it effectively. Danger here for the Storm defence. Under the pump. It's worked backwards. Chance down there for Graham. Took it for Gisborne. Caught with the football. Umpire said, "You are caught with the football." Sammy Graham. Free kick to the Storm at half-back.
Conway with the ball for the Storm. Conway, short pass. Shannon Geary. He's the best for the Storm in my book this afternoon so far. Handball back. It was the give and receive to a running Conway. He'll go to half forward. They'll set themselves. I reckon that was a little bit of a falcon to Slater.
Yes.
Right on the chin. And over the boundary line she goes, and we'll have a ball in across half forward for the Storm. 23, playing 14. Dogs lead, fresh Bendigo, grand final footy.
You might want to flatten your hands so you don't wear one.
So, yes. Yeah, that's probably the way it goes. Up they go. Hit to the front of the pack. Chance for Lakey for Gisborne. The minute he picked it up, he was tackled. Couldn't get the out. And the umpire is going to ball it up.
You reckon they don't hurt with a wet ball as well, Jock, I tell you, in the cold weather.
I always thought they hurt with a dry ball, Johnny. So a wet one even worse. Meanwhile, from the ball up, it's worked over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in.
Callum McCarty's getting a bit frustrated.
He is. And he's had a couple of possessions in this third term, but
yeah, Nick Doolan has been running with him and he's shut him down beautifully.
So from the ball in, nobody can win it effectively. Hacked out of the air, inside forward 50 for the Storm, the forward pocket. Nobody can take possession effectively. And again, it's worked over the boundary line and the umpire has called it out. Now, did you notice the field umpire look into the crowd then? Obviously someone said something and I don't think he was overly impressed. Let's hope that umpire bashing is a thing of the past. From the forward pocket throw in. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Lakey's there, can't get it out. Hurriedly kicked out of the traffic by Moorhead.
No, it's touched.
Touched.
Oh. His teammates tried to, con the goal umpire?
Yeah, sure did.
Through for a minor score. 1-9-15 the Storm. 2-11-23 Gisborne. 26 and a half gone. Third term of the grand final. Live score sponsor, Variety Superstore, Strathfieldsaye.
Just with the umpires, though, Jock's doing a super jog, but you should not respond because all you're doing is giving it oxygen. So
I'm not sure he said it. He just looked.
Yeah, Spear, short pass, dangerously finds Rogers. Had to dive forward to take a slips catch. He'll now give it off to a running Spear. He goes further afield, wide, outer side. Now they're all tied up. Owen gets up rubbing his scone.
Well, he had plenty of it.
Yeah.
And then he's copped a clip on the head. He's in the walls at the moment. Got one in the guts, one in the head.
Stoppage, half forward, Storm. Up they go in the ruck. Spear doing the ruck work on that occasion. Handball, Hunter Lawrence, handballed it along the line and then eventually bounces over and another ball in. 70 around from goal, the Storm attack who trail 1-9-15 to Gisborne, 2-11-23, 28 gone third term.
So throw in just outside forward, 50 for the Storm. closing on three-quarter time of the grand final. Storm would absolutely dearly love one more to set up a big last quarter. They win it from the stoppage. It's hurriedly kicked inside forward 50. Ernst attacks the footy, picks it up. Then he's immediately tackled by a couple of Gisborne defenders, and the umpire will come in and ball it up.
So with these conditions, I'd like to see someone go and goaltend. Stand the line. You don't want one skidding through here.
Yeah, 40 metres out from the Storm goal. Hurried kick. No one could mark it. Loose. Chance for a Storm player to take it. He was tackled. Lost it. Same with the Gisborne player. He's got it in the back pocket. He steps over the line. Was Cassidy. And it's over and out of bounds for another throw in.
This have to be one of the lowest grand finals for a long time.
I cannot remember one ever.
To think it's three-quarter time almost, and one side, the favourite potentially, has only one on the board, and the other, well, they're equal favourites really, has got two. As it's now the Storm. They'll go long to the goal, teeth of goal. Sharp is lurking. He's been relatively quiet, minor score. So the Storm inch closer to 110-16, trailing 2-11-23, 29 gone, third term.
7-point ball game. From the kick in, Spear played on, ran his distance, cleared defensive 50 and found a teammate. Ellings over there, Donny.
Yes,
he's taken it.
Come full length of the ground now. He's been busy up forward.
So from defensive 50, goes long down the outer side of the ground to a contest. Nobody marks it. The ball hits the deck and it's locked up. How many overhead marks do you reckon have been taken today for the entire game, both sides?
Handful.
4 or 5?
Yeah.
Yep. It's just been one of those days with the weather.
More than goals that have been kicked, Jock.
Yeah, well, true, yeah. But the record low for both stats, one would think. Umpire's going to ball it up on the wing, outer side of the ground, but there's a delay. Blood rule, is it?
Yeah,
maybe.
Nick Doolan. Not a bad rotation. Benaki for Doolan.
Yeah. That works for Gisborne.
It's not bad when you can have that occur.
The ball's over the other side of the ground, yeah.
Yep. So now the umpire balls it up.
Up they go in the ruck. Canuccio trying to find a path for the Dogs and can't. Moorhead ducked his head a little bit when he got his footy. The umpire didn't fall for it. It's still on the outer side wing. McCarty trying to get involved. He coughed up the footy. Merritt emerges with it. Now for the Dogs. He'll go inside forward 50. Is there time for another shot at goal with Foreman? He'll swing on the left. Of course he will. Good tackling by the Storm.
Pat
and
McKenna.
a mark is taken.
Was it 15?
I don't think it was. No.
Yes, I reckon it's paid.
It's paid, mark.
And he's knocked it. Shannon Geary knocked it out of his hands as well after that.
Tell us what happened with that, Don Moran.
Well, Ethan Foreman put himself in a good position and he swung around on his left as you called, and Pat McKenna in the perfect position, and he's taken the mark. I was just a bit worried that it mightn't have been 15. But then
I called it slewed, and my initial thought was it wasn't.
I'll tell you one thing.
Shannon Geary's got really lucky here.
He won't play on.
Should have been 50.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
So he's going to have to kick it. The man on the mark is standing at least 40. McKenna, if anyone can kick it, he can. He's got the breeze in his face. He skipped and he hopped a little. Now he'll give it its all. He's got his hands on his knees. And they're asking whether it's a goal. Touched on the line. One behind. Wow. We had about 300 umpires down there, both calling either way. So it is a minor score. Boy, oh boy, have we got a big final term coming your way. It's the Dogs. They lead 2-12-24. The Storm 1-10-16 on Fresh Bendigo Grand Final footy. Third term.
Well, they don't look like they're setting up any different to start this last quarter. Pilcher will start in the ruck for Storm. Braden Blake's out there for Gisborne. Your best players in the middle. Benaki's out there. Ethan Minns is out there. So where do you reckon, boys? How's it looking? Still anybody's?
The Dogs for mine, but don't write off any team coached by Darryl Wilson. That's what I'll say.
Well, the scoring end has been, for the least amount we've seen, has been City end, and Gisborne are going this way. So I'm pretty confident that they might take control this quarter.
Last quarter of the grand final, the umpire looks around, makes sure everybody has left the arena. All the spectators are off, and there's plenty of them here today, especially considering the weather. And Johnny Hunter to start the last quarter of the grand final of the 2022. Let's get us going.
A lot to play out in this game yet. 30 minutes of full-on action. Pilcher wins the tap, but it's Mins of the Bulldog. It's put to Panuccio on half forward. To Lakey by hand. He got slung tackle. Umpire put the whistle away halfway between the centre and half forward. Let it go. Bell Bartels inside forward 50. Big punch. Soccer off the ground. That was Graham. Oh, he's given it to Kemp. He's running side by side. Now a shot at goal. He's missed an opportunity there. It was Graham, shot at goal, minor score, Dogs inch away, 2-13-25 to 110-16 the Storm.
I'm glad I decided not to write down the behinds because I would have been really overworked this afternoon. So the Storm kick out from Geary, little one, that's okay. Finds a teammate in the back pocket. Storm a long way from goal. The kick is not good and just landed inside the line and rolled over.
Just a tired, lazy kick, wasn't it, from Conway?
Well, I thought off the boot it was just going to go out on the full. So the umpire will throw it back into play just outside forward 50 for Gisborne. And in a game like this with only 3 goals between them, if Gisborne happened to get a goal now, the job in front of Storm would be enormous.
Well, they're certainly pressing, aren't they? And
Whistle.
Free kick for Blake in front.
Blake, 70 out from goal, too far to score. They are kicking to the end. Well, we won't say the scoring end, but the end that's had the most play. We'll say that. It is the City end. Blake, it's been super for the Dogs. He'll go long and high, looking for McKenna. He was in the area. It was a good bit of work. Storm through Leicester. Handballs to a teammate, kicks it quickly towards the boundary line. And, well, they were screaming for deliberate, but it didn't go. It was Graham. He'll send it back inside forward 50 for the Dogs. Relay ball front and centre. It's Mins. He'll go around the body. It'll go to the line. It's a goal! What a goal by Mins! It went and went and went. Boy, if that's a moment that wins your grand final, I reckon that's probably it. Live score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors in Castlemaine. Was it Sam? I thought it was Mins come off the boot.
I think it was Mins on his opposite foot too.
It was 110-16 the Storm, labouring now after that goal by Gisborne, 3-13-31.
So at the 2-minute mark, you need to go back and have a look at the tape. That's a Pomo kick from Graham,
Yep.
and Mins did the right thing, front and centre.
I tell you what, that
Finishes the
started
job.
with a great tap over the top from Braden Blake.
Sure did.
He set his teammate into a little bit of space, and that's been hard to find all day. Ball up, centre of the park. Now the pressure's really on the Storm. They need to get a reply to that or they're out of business. It's worked towards half forward desperately. Plenty of numbers around the contest. Kick off the ground, back to the centre, favours the Storm. Hurried kick back. Up goes Sharp. Couldn't take the mark. Kick off the ground. It's inside forward 50. Taken by Baxter Slater. Threw it on the boot towards the hot spot. Up they go. No one could take the mark. Desperate defence by Gisborne. Clear outside defence of 50. Benaki after the football. Good pick up.
That was clever,
Wants
wasn't
support. Got it. Then went wide with a hand pass, but his teammates got time to pick it up. From half back goes down the wing, grandstand side. Target was Scanlon, couldn't take the mark. Came over the back, kicked off the ground. It was Foreman inside forward 50 for the Dogs. No one could keep it in. It's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. 48 metres around from the behind post. Deep into forward pocket and a chance for Gisborne again.
Fresh live update, 3-quarter time of the MC FNL. Harcourt 51 lead Carisbrook 33. So 30 minutes remaining in the MC FNL Grand Final. Up they go in the ruck. Mays for the Storm. Trying to run through was Bode Stevens, who came into the side this afternoon and has been quiet. Thomas Bennett made way for him. Might not matter. Looks like Gisborne. They are attacking and they lead this game. Just a little bit of lull. McCarty tries to pick the footy up. Spills wide. Riley Clark gives it to Shannon Geary. Quickly on the boot. Beyond 50. Big punch from behind. That was Cassidy of the Dogs. Picked up by Mins, who kicked the last goal. Went goalward. But it was wayward inside. And 20 metres around from goal.
Have a look behind the
Dogs
goals,
attack.
behind the City end goals. Have a look at the Gisborne faithful here.
Yeah, they're all up and about. 31 playing 16. 5 minutes gone last term. And why wouldn't they be, Don? their side is on the way to a premiership.
Throw in deep in the forward pocket for the Dogs. Plenty up. Great tap over the top. Scanlon. It was. Couldn't put a teammate on the end of it. 30 metres out from the Dogs' goal. They attack relentlessly. They're really under the pump. The Storm defence umpire will ball it up. We'll start again. It's just a tract of mud almost, isn't it, between centre half forward and full forward. Right through. Good luck to the Parks and Gardens staff on Monday morning when they see it. Hacked out of the ground after the ball up. Goes towards defensive 50. No one could pick it up. Quick kick off the ground. Chance down there for Clark. He's, lost it in a tackle for Storm. It's still loose. Hurriedly kicked out of defence. Bouncing ball over the line and out of bounds for another throw-in. The Storm defence are really under the pump, Donny. They're just throwing it on the boot, trying to clear the space.
It looks like, Gisborne have definitely got a sniff after that last goal, and they're really pressing now.
Yep,
they're
up
really
and about.
going to work.
No doubt about that.
Cross half forward now. Gisborne attack. Broadcast side. Mays and Eels wins the tap for the Dogs. Socket off the ground. Well, it was a fresh area in the end. It was Scanlon. Couldn't get a piece of it. They're sharing it around. Eventually, Scanlon ends up with the ball to the top of the square. Radcliffe picks it up, gives it to Conway by hand. Short pass, Moorhead, this year's Mickelson medalist, over the top by hand. Goes to a teammate who fumbles. And it was Baxter Slater, puts it out of bounds, and another ball
Definitely
up.
feeling the pressure, aren't they, Storm?
It was a tired old grasp at the footy, couldn't get it. 31 playing 16, Dogs lead, 6.5 gone last term.
And I'll tell you what, the Gisborne, you're right, but with the Gisborne crowd is really working hard to bring their side home. That would absolutely be lifting the players from the ball in. Pilcher might have got it away to a teammate. He's lost it in a tackle, so it's loose. Still across half forward for the Gisborne Bulldogs. Nobody can get it out effectively, and the umpire comes in to ball it up yet again. About 5 metres in from the boundary line, out of sight of the ground. 60 out from the Dogs' goal. One more for the Dogs. Whew, you'd reckon that'd almost be shut the gate time, but they haven't got it yet. Storm might have other ideas. From the ball up, plenty around the contest. Pack develops. And the umpire comes in and will ball it up again. 7 minutes gone, final term, 16 plays 31, Gisborne in front.
Pilcher against Scanlon. Pilcher of the Storm won. It went boundary line and over again. And another ball up, ball in. Coach Rob Waters, not much he can do for the rest of the game. It all comes down to this. Tired players, they've got the crowd support. Scanlon in the ruck. Blake must be having a rest. Graham, who's been okay now, puts it on the boot around the body, goes to the top of the square looking for McKenna, socket off the ground. And you're allowed to do that under pressure, rusher behind.
If you're in the square.
And we can't see where the square is.
Good point.
So it's a minor score. 32 playing 16, 8 minutes gone, final term.
So the kick out, long to a contest. The umpire's picked out a free kick. It'll go to Gisborne. Spear to take it. No, he won't. Umpire said play on's the call. Kemp ran in, fired at goal and put it over the line and out of bounds on the full. So no advantage in that advantage.
Pomo's getting a real workout. Top of the square. Conway. Oh, short pass. If they're going to win now, they're going to have to go dangerously, but I'm not sure that dangerously, but they're away with it. Riley Wilson, short pass again, corridor, no one's there. Lakey picks it up for the Dogs. He'll send it back whence it came. Big punch to the front of the square. It was Allings.
Benaki's got one high.
Got one under the chin. We'll line them up for goal. It was head on.
It's a critical area of the ground, isn't it? If you keep putting it in there all day, you're going to get some results, aren't you?
Don't worry about that.
He stopped straight away. Didn't want to waste it.
No.
It's at that awkward distance with this heavy ball. Tired legs makes it even heavier.
Well, Storm had the ball in their hands, and Riley Wilson just kicked it straight into that critical part of the ground where you don't want to be.
Game over if he kicks this goal. And you can hear the crowd in the background. 4:14 now. Benaki, what a goal it was. 4:14, that's a 38 to 1:10:16. Live score sponsor, Rural and Outdoors in Castlemaine. Pressure goal, pressure kick.
I tell you what, they're bowing and waving and really getting involved in the game. The Bulldogs supporters, good on them. I tell you what, Storm, they got a miracle up their sleeve, boys.
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll see how they go. It looks like
Okay,
they're
I'm glad
done
I
to
asked
me.
the question. Ball up, centre of the ground. Benaki again in the thick of things. Can he get it out? He can't. Storm need to try and get some clearances. Moorhead's got the footy. They've got him. He's dumped into the mud and the umpire will come in and ball it up. We've played 10 minutes of time in the final quarter of the grand final and the margin is out to 22 points in favour of Gisborne.
Up they go in the ruck. It was Merritt doing the ruck work for the Dogs. Eels, he just got a fortunate ball, then put it on the outside of the boot. It ended up being a tube. Allings picks it up from 50. Hurry kick. Kicks it straight to Shannon Geary of the Storm. He senses the urgency. He goes into the corridor looking for Stevens. But the Dogs again, inside forward 50. Another bit of a falcon there to Foreman. Foreman received a handball. If he can get on the left, unselfishly gave it to Lakey. Lakey goes goalward. McKenna, hands on it. Also Allings. He picks it up like a dry ball. Gives it off to Bell Bartel. Slams it for a minor.
You've been on him all day for not being dirty, mate. He's dirty now.
Oh, well.
On himself for missing that.
39 playing 16, 11 gone. Final turn, Fresh Bendigo grand final footy.
I thought Jock had written that one down.
No. Not writing too many down early today. Conway to bring it back into play for Storm. Now he runs off, runs his measure and goes long to the outer side of the ground. And he might have found the big fella, Pilcher, who's taken a mark as he's fallen over. Gets to his feet, sweeps a hand pass back. Storm go off half back down the wing outer side. Oh, they've turned it over. But so is the Gisborne player who intercepted. His hand pass also was taken. Ernst got involved, tapped it to a teammate. The Storm get it up towards half forward. They need to do something here. Baxter Slater got it inside forward 50, kick off the ground. It's in the goal square. There's no one home. Sharp gets there first. He kicks it off the ground and the Storm get one back. Sharp gets his first of the afternoon. And maybe, just maybe, is there a sniff for the Storm?
Well, the Gisborne defender's claiming he touched it.
Well, it doesn't matter, does it? Because the goal umpire's given it. So 2:10:22 Storm, 4:15:39 the Gisborne Bulldogs. 12 minutes gone, plenty of time. Final term of the grand final. That is a live score sponsor, thanks to Breach Apparel Bendigo.
And just as that was kicked, the reins come down.
It does. It was a goal, Don. I had the binos on it.
Clearly?
Yeah, well, my first instinct was a goal for sure. So, another...
You know we know best up here.
Secondary start. Yeah, it's easy from up here, isn't it? As Blake back into the ruck, just for a final go at it. Graham dives after it, and he got one in the back. Player dived in over the top of him. That was Riley Clark. So, Graham... The last quarter or so, he's really come into the game, Graham.
His
he's
last
had a big
quarter's
second
been
half.
really good, hasn't it?
It's a poor kick, spills to Merritt. Merritt can't collect, goes towards Gill, who's been quiet.
Here's Graham again.
Here he is. He'll look for Bell Bartels, couldn't make the distance.
Good tackle.
It was a nice bit of work.
Oh.
It was Jack Nayland that tried to get out of that tackle and couldn't. And halfway between the centre and half forward, Gisborne attack. We'll have another ball up.
Up they go. Thumped away by Pilcher towards the wing grandstand side. Moorhead got the footy, lost it in a jarring tackle, loose ball, picked up by Paddy McKenna at half back. Kicks the Dogs to half forward, marking contest. No one could take it. Merritt's there, Scanlon's there. He picks it up. He's tackled to the ground, Scanlon. Two Storm defenders jump on top of him and the umpire comes in, he'll ball it up just outside forward 50. 22 plays 39. Last quarter, grand final. 15-20 minutes to go, and it is the Dogs in front by 17 points, and the umpire's picked out a free kick to Big Pilch.
Yeah,
He's got it just outside
That
defence.
was a tired ruck contest, wasn't it?
Yeah, Blake gave him a smack over the back of the heads. It was fair enough. McKenna, front position. Couldn't get it. Shannon Geary, he weaves a path through. Somehow got his boot to ball. It's Reaper, picks it up for the Dogs. His kick was smothered by Sharp. Did very well. They've lifted it up a level. Spear, you haven't mentioned him for a little while. He's been good for the whole game as well. He'll be amongst the best, you would think, as another stoppage on true centre wing position. That was Rogers getting involved for the Dogs. 22 playing 39. Gisborne lead, 14.5 gone final term.
Ball up, wing, grandstand side. Pilcher works hard, playing on hard, I reckon, at the moment, the big fella. Can't get it out to a teammate. Another pack develops. This will suit Gisborne. It chews up the time, and the umpire comes in, he'll ball it up again. right in front of a packed grandstand. In fact, the ground is rife with people. Good to see them supporting the local product. As from the ball up, the ball's worked over the line and out of bounds for another throw-in. Still on the wing, still on the grandstand side. Still that 17-point lead to Gisborne. And the time clock, 15 minutes gone, final quarter.
Blake v Pilcher. Blake tried to grab it out of the air. Pilcher soccers it 20 metres forward to half forward for the Storm. Hard seeing them getting on the board. They've only kicked 2 for this afternoon. Mind you, they only have to kick another 2 and they're there or thereabouts. They'll still trail, but very difficult conditions. Pilcher, he wins the punch. Moorhead, a secondary punch. Look for Sharp, dive forward. Graham getting involved. Dogs did well. Hold, might be a free kick to that player.
Yeah, Sam Graham again.
Sam Graham.
Had a big last quarter so far, hasn't he?
Bottom of the pack.
Been super.
Now, he'll look. Which way will he go? He'll look to come broadcast side. He goes long to the wing. Lakey, Scanlon, flew high, dry ball.
Dry weather mark, wasn't it? Jeez,
No one told him it was wet.
He'll go looking for Ellings. Hits him on the chest. Again a dry ball. He's got players breaking for him. He'll go to Bell Bartels. He's got his eyes on the footy. Shannon Geary did well. Bell Bartels, goal! Touched on the line. Didn't get his foot to it in time. Must have only been a centimetre in it for a minor score. 22 Storm, 40 Gisborne, 16 gone. Final term.
Jeez, that was a great mark, wasn't it? From Jack Scanlon on the wing here.
Scanlon's taken 2 rippers today. The only player who has. Kick out, long and poor. Straight to Minns, who's marked on his chest for the Dogs. Just outside forward 50. Goes with a little toe poke to a teammate who fell over. Time to get to his feet. Bounds it in towards the hot spot. Plenty up. No one could take it. Chance for the Storm to clear. High kick. Doesn't get out of defence of 50. It's thumped back towards goal for the Dogs, but it's locked up and the umpire will ball it up. It's about 35 metres out from Gisborne's goal. 17 minutes gone, final term. 22 plays 40. Gisborne in front.
Umpire Scott Baxter. He'll throw it up. Up they'll go. Eels does the ruck work against Radcliffe. He put it down the throat of Moorhead of the Storm. Sends it in the direction of Owens. Got a lot of it. Couldn't get it. Picked up neatly by Gill, who's been quiet. But it'll be the Dogs. They'll bring it back the other way.
Allings.
They'll come inside forward 50. Allings mark.
He's just read that so
and
well.
He is coming to the game, hasn't he? He's just potent and will line them up directly in front.
He's grown as a player in this final series. No doubt about that.
It's just been really exciting, isn't it? The conditions, and he just looks so lively, and every time he gets near it, he just puts himself in a position to win the football.
And he's not very old.
Luke Ellings has kicked one, spins the ball in his hands, gets the hair out of his face as he runs in. He kicks it, he hits it neatly, but it goes wide. It's spun beautifully for a wet ball, but that's not good enough. For 17:41 to 2:10:22. Dogs lead, 18 minutes gone, final term. Fresh Bendigo, grand final footy.
Slipping away from the Storm now, from the kick out. High and long to half-back Graham. Good defensive punch to a Storm player. Under the pump, he threw it on a boot and kicked it out on the full. So it's taken for Gisborne down there by Webber. Now he plays on. Oh, his kick went about 50 metres high, up in the air, under it. No one could take the mark. Loose ball, still across half forward for the Dogs. Benaki scooped it out, kick off the ground, goes inside forward, 50 for them. Under the pump down there, Lawrence takes it for the Storm. His hurried kick out of defence, though, is marked for the Dogs, and they'll bring it back inside. I think it's Scanlon, is it? With his shoulders taped up? No,
Owen.
In fact, it was Owen. He goes long and off hands and through for a minor score. So 42 plays 22. 20 points the margin. 19 minutes gone, final term of the grand final.
It's almost done. Fresh live update from the A-grade netball as well. Sandhurst, 48, have defeated Kangaroo Flat, 33. As Shannon Geary sends it beyond 50.
He's got a chop.
Out of
Lakey's
side.
got a chop
Blake
on the ear.
He'll get a free kick.
Yeah, Lakey, yes.
Lakey, I thought you said Blake, but Blakey was acting as the rover on that occasion as well.
Blakey gave it back to Lakey.
He gave it to Lakey. You're a poet, don't know it.
Yep, and he's going to kicky it.
Yeah, Lakey, as he goes, it's Ellings, picks it up, 30 metres out, directly in front. Tired players, socket off the ground by Nayland. It's Minns is there. He couldn't win it. Won by Sharp. Sharp on the left. Kicked it in the direction of Blake. Blake, he didn't want to bend down on that occasion. He's had a big afternoon. He socketed it towards the boundary line. Still follows up his own footy. He might end up with it still. So might Graham, who's in the area. Neither of those players did. Umpire said, I will, and I'll ball it up. Halfway between centre wing and right half forward. Gisborne attack. They lead by 20 points in this grand final. 20 minutes gone.
Pilcher still working hard, and Moorhead still trying hard. Got it towards half forward, chance for the Storm. Can they find something down there late? Very difficult. Working hard, Reaper in defence. He's been super all day. Now the Dogs will get it out of trouble. High kick. Back to the wing. Stand side. No mark taken. Picked up by Paddy McKenna, and he's slung over the boundary line with the ball by Lester. And McKenna's teammates don't like it. They just say, Benny, naughty.
Well, Lester's done a couple of that sling tackles today, and he's got away with it.
I mean,
Paddy's not happy.
Thrown back into play, just in front of the scoreboard.
It's a punch
over the back. Chance for the Dogs.
You keep going.
Kick off the ground, goes towards half forward. Scanlon attacks the footy, lost it in a tackle, wants some support, gets a little bit from Webber. His hand pass didn't work. Chance for the Storm to get out of trouble. Kick off the ground, bounces through the mud, up towards half forward. Baxter Slater's got the football. Hand passes inside forward 50. Finds a teammate who's kicked it off the ground. That's Lockie Gill into the goal square. Nothing there. Reaper gets back and prevents a goal. In fact, I reckon he's prevented a score. He's pushed it over the line out of bounds. It'll be thrown in next to the behind post, deep in the forward pocket for the Storm.
Well, there's proof in the pudding there with Cal.
He couldn't
move. That was a normal goal for him. Easy, wasn't it?
The goals were open. My grandmother could have kicked that, and she's been dead for 30 years. As the ball is thrown in to the top of the square now. I'll tell you another player that I just had a look that's clean. It's Shishka. Has had not one, he's probably had one or two touches. As Moorhead, another quiet player, sends it wide towards the pocket, the forward pocket, and it bounces over and will have a ball in. Both those players, particularly Shishka, Don, he was influential.
No influence.
Not at all.
Today it's about being, hard at the ball and hard bodies, and I know he's a young player. He just hasn't shown that, has he?
No, but you make your name in finals. Pilcher up against Blake. It'll be Blake, double fister towards the boundary line, towards Bell Bartels. He's dirty now, don't you worry about that. I can't even read his number as he puts it over the line, and we'll have another ball in.
Might be dirty on you for saying all day he hasn't been dirty.
Well, I'm a little bit dirty on that, and on dirty day, and you're a midfielder, you've got to get your jumper dirty. As the umpire will throw it in again. It'll be Blake in the ruck work. Pilcher, rucked for most of the day. Pilcher, big punch toward goal. Sharp, but it was a good bit of work by the Dogs defensively. Kicked out towards the boundary line. What a pick-up that was by one hand. The kick didn't do it any justice, really.
They're just getting the job done, aren't they, Dogs?
Yeah.
When they're under pressure, they still execute.
It was for Scovey who picked it up like that. And we'll have another ball in across half forward. The Storm attack on this occasion. 20-point margin, they trail.
So there's the throw in. Over the back, Blake got it down, couldn't find a teammate, was picked up by Riley Wilson, his kick was smothered, it's just outside forward 50 now for the Storm. Can they come again? But Benaki takes it, no one forward, throws it on the left foot, bouncing ball, might sit up for a teammate, could be a chance here for Gisborne, picked up and kicked forward down there for them. It was Eels, he got it inside forward 50 and he's found a teammate who's taken the mark. Foreman has got the mark. Maybe a touch too far out.
If he's on the run, Jock, he'd kick it. So you probably should take a Jeff Thompson run up and have a go at it.
Player on the mark's 45 out. Well, he's 15 in from the boundary line. He's in the scoreboard pocket.
He's doing, in fact, that.
And he's kicking.
If he's a decent forward, he'd wipe his boot, wouldn't he?
A grand final win.
You've got to wipe your boot on the back of your sock.
What do you do? Wipe the boot on the back of your sock?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, take the mud off it.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's coming off the
In
side.
he comes. Fires a goal across the face and through for a minor score. Margin out to 21 points at the 24.5-minute mark of the final term. 22 the Storm, 43 the Gisborne Bulldogs. Life Score sponsor Variety Superstore, Strathvillage.
Hunter Lawrence played on from fullback, touched the ground, and then he kicked it low Probably tried to get too much purchase on it, and we'll have a stoppage beyond 50. Don't know what he's
I'm going to tag this one, John. Ben Eales. He is the best front punt kicker I've ever seen.
Ever. As another stoppage, another whistle.
Bendigo football, he is a specialist at kicking a front punt pass. Do you know what that means?
No.
Spins the other way.
Spins the other way, does it?
Top spinner.
Geez, we're getting an education from Don Moran here this afternoon as the ball goes out of bounds on the full.
I don't think he's got a drop punt in his body.
Inside forward 50 now. Dogs looking to attack again. Jumped high, jumped early. It was Merritt. He looks sore. In fact, it's Kemp. As Kemp holds his... I reckon he might have a bit of cramp.
Look at the width for Ben Graham
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Sam Graham, sorry, sitting on the wing here.
In the forward pocket. Scoreboard side. 21-point margin. Gisborne will win this grand final. It's just a matter of time now. Slinging tackle Dogs. I didn't like it by Doolan. Umpire allowed play to go on, and they've been pretty good. Hurry kick around the body. Goes goalwards. It'll be rushed through for a minor score. So the inch further ahead. 4:20. 44 to 2:10:22. Dogs lead. 26 minutes gone. Final turn.
I don't know what the record low score is for Bendigo Grand Finals, but I reckon this would be amongst the top 2 or 3. Long kick out, clears defensive 50, but the Dogs will come again. It's taken down there by Scanlon, kicks inside forward 50, couldn't find a teammate, close to the boundary line, and it's over and out of bounds. In fact, it was Owen before, not Scanlon, and it's gone out for a throw-in next to the behind post. So the boundary umpire, little fella with the sunnies, it's been a bit of a feature throughout the finals series. Gives it a good toss in. Up they go. Both the ruckmen fell over. No one could get it effectively. It's 25 metres out from the Gisborne goal. It's worked back to Graham. He's just thrown it on the boot. High kick.
Scanlon's just dropped a put.
It was a tired effort, wasn't it?
It was an egg before.
He should have went overhead. He's marked those all day. Chest mark wasn't in his
Wasn't in his kit
was
bag.
it? No.
They can just about start enjoying this grand final. The crowd certainly has. Up they go in the ruck. It was Merritt. Double fist up. Lakey slides in. Shannon Geary emerges. Gives it to Clossy by hand. Bangs it on the boot quickly to Scanlon, who's been good. Marks it on right half forward. Reaper.
Reliable all day.
Reaper now.
He's going to have a shot.
He goes long. Back inside forward 50. Scanlon, that man was his target. Hurried kick from the pack by the Storm. Picked up by Spear. Spear can't find a path. Owen, he wants to get amongst it. He'll pick it up. Go goalward. Tries it, don't argue. That's effective. It'll go to the... whistle on play. There's something going on off the ball. Sam Graham, he's getting involved.
Yeah, Lockie Gill's lost his...
That's just penalising the side. I don't know why you'd bring it back.
It's just disappointing.
What did Lockie do? Did he not Graham?
No, it's not. It's going to be down the field. I thought they were going to bring it back for the moment. It's Allings that ends up with a free kick. 45-degree angle. It's only 10 metres out from goal. Just kick through the footy. Don't poke at it. Over the top of the goal umpire's hat. In he trots. Casual, and kicks a goal. Boy, he made it work. If there ever needed to be a sealer, 5:20:50. Boy, to 2:10:22. Live score sponsor, Meat Matters, and we are now only moments away from this grand final being concluded.
And the Gisborne players are letting Lockie Gill know all about that.
Well, up until that score, boys, I can tell you, it was the equal lowest winning score since 1925.
Gee, were you there, John?
Now it's not. Now it's the second. Putting the ball up, centre of the ground. Chance for the Dogs. Good long breakaway. Kick it high inside forward 50. And it's a mark.
To Kemp.
Kemp has taken the mark. 45 metres out. Slight angle.
Harry Conway didn't even stand him on that restart.
No, it's all over. And I think both sides know it. So Josh Kemp pulls the socks up, wipes the hand. Donnie, you happy with all that?
Yeah, for sure. That's the way it's done.
That's the process. Righto. That's the structure, the process. Kemp from 45 metres on a bit of an angle to put the final etching on the Gisborne name on the cup. Doesn't make the distance, goes across the front, and it's over the line and out of bounds. No, penalty free kick.
Yeah,
it's a free kick in the last line of defence.
Merritt's had a jump at it.
An unrealistic
attempt, Jock. You got the language beautifully there. Just need to get on that pomo.
Ball has gone beyond 50. It's now with the Storm. Hurry kick out of the pack. We're at half forward as the players dive in after the footy. Umpire backs crosses his arms. And he will ball it up. So, the Dogs, they're marching towards the grand final. We've gone beyond 30 minutes. Umpire throws it up in the air. It is Blake. He taps it, but he couldn't get it. It was only Moorhead. Now, it's Reaper. Reaper will feed it off. Can't quite get it. Boot to ball. Lakey, he'll pick up the footy. Handball. That was effective. He goes there in the direction of Cassidy. Cassidy goes deep into the pocket. He was looking for Foreman, and Foreman sees it over the boundary line. Ball in. 22 playing 50, 31 minutes gone.
Getting dark again, boys, and guess what? I don't care. Because it's almost full time. Throw in. Forward pocket for the Gisborne Bulldogs. They've had a mighty season. They finished on top of the ladder. And now they've won the premiership to add to it. Final score in the 2022 Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final. Gisborne, the Bulldogs, 5-20-50, have defeated Strathfieldsaye 2-10-22.
Well, you can hear it in the effects, Mike. Worthy winners, Don Moran. What do you think about that?
Well, the conditions suited them today. I've always been probably not a fan of how they play the QEO after seeing them the last few weeks, but geez, they got it done today in the conditions that are probably very, very suited to with coming from down Gardner Reserve down there. So credit to them. They've pressed and pressed all day, and to have the amount of forward entries that they did, they've kicked 5-20. So they're not all set shots off boot. They're a lot of rush. So the Strath's defence were well and truly under pressure all day. So it's a credit to them. Well
if you're reading this score and you didn't know, you didn't know what was going on in the game, and you picked up the newspaper and it said 5-20 to 2-10, you wouldn't believe it in a grand final, would you?
Well, we said poor kicking. It's poor footy. How about that? 5-20. It's called opportunity in these conditions, and they took their moments when they needed to. Allings was terrific up front. What did he end up with, Jock? 3?
2. Don't exaggerate.
Don't exaggerate. I just forgot.
Look,
not sure whether you could use your pen.
I think, boys, it was a real arm wrestle, a real grind for the first 2 and a bit quarters. But Gisborne, to me, just seemed to stick it out longer. It was tough and tough and tough, and maybe Storm just couldn't go with them, and Gisborne just slightly felt they got a goal early in the third quarter and just felt they could maybe push on with it. I just like the way they just worked hard for it.
The 2 injuries to Bowden Alexander and Cal Geary had an opportunity to kick that goal late in that game. I think that really affected their rotation, and Cal's played down back and through the midfield. Like last week, a fortnight ago, Cal stood up in the midfield and changed the game, and I think his influence was really lacking when he battled with that hamstring.
I've proven I'm no coach, Don, but particularly with a hamstring injury, it just worried me, and the proof was in the pudding. Cal Geary, he couldn't have kicked an easier goal. He had nobody up his hammer, and he was just on the goal line, and he just couldn't find the drive to go. So I know that they were short on the bench, but surely you're better off playing the 2 players that they're tired rather than somebody that can't kick the footy.
Yeah, well, it just depends who they were and what that balance looked like, whether they were midfield, because I'd love to know. I think the umpires have earned their money today, and Jock's been talking about the boundary umpires. So I think they'll have a good sleep tonight. The amount of throw-ins and ball-ups that we've had today from restarts has been off the charts. So I think they ran out of sting through their midfield.
fresh live update. We've got a premiership in the MCD FNL. The Apple Eaters, Harcourt, 9-4-58, have defeated Carisbrook 7-8-50, thanks to Norm Jenkin over at Princes Park. And I'd imagine would be a very happy Norm Jenkin, because not only is he a life member of the league and the association, he is a true blue Harcourt person. So congratulations to Harcourt, the Apple Eaters premiers for 2022.
Yeah, a good effort by Harcourt, but a mighty effort here by Gisborne. I think they proved something this afternoon, and their final series was pretty good, boys, wasn't it?
Oh, fantastic. Disappointing from a Golden Square perspective. They probably failed where we thought that they might have got over the line. But Gisborne, you know what? It didn't matter early in the final season. We thought they were flat. That they struggled really at times to get their game plan in place. But at the end of the day, didn't they, they were 18-2, or they only lost 2 games for the season. So when the whole thing is looked at, overall, the best side of season 2022 has won the grand final.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for riding the conditions on a very wintry spring Saturday here in Queen Elizabeth Oval. It's been trend to 8 terrific games of football and netball throughout, and the senior football, a very willing and fierce and a frenetic contest, that is for sure. We'll start the presentations with our umpires for the senior football grand final for season 2022. The umpires' medals to be presented by FNL board member Ferris Finch. Our field umpires, Scott Baxter. Paul Hutchinson. And Scott Bennett. Our emergency umpire, Dale Caldwell. The boundary umpires, Patrick Murphy, Michael Court, Matt Sexton, and George Zanides. And the goal umpires in the 2022 senior grand final, Paul Martin and Wayne Ford. Thanks to our umpires for their contribution throughout season 2022. If I can invite the coach of Strathfieldsaye, the co-coach of Strathfieldsaye, Darryl Wilson, to come up and say a few words on behalf of the Storm. A terrific season, being such a strong club for such a long time, and ably led by Darryl alongside Shannon Geary throughout season 2022. Darryl's just picking his path through the crowd.
Thanks, Joel. Congratulations firstly to Gisborne. So we'll start with you guys. You've been in the benchmark all year. A couple of games clear on top, and just proved today how good you are. So congratulations and enjoy the week. The Gisborne Footy Club have built up, and it's going to be quite scary, I think, with what you saw today from their under 18s, reserves and seniors in netball. So congratulations to John, Paddy, all the coaches. Yeah, well done. To our guys, we probably weren't expected to get here. I'm absolutely proud of you. Love you all. Well done.
Thanks, Darryl, and well done to the Strathfieldsaye Storm, perennial grand finalists such a powerful club in the competition. The best on-ground medal in the 2022 Bendigo Football Netball League Grand Final, as always, is the Nolder medal. And to present the Nolder medal this year, I welcome Billy Nolder, representing the Nolder family. The winner of the Nolder medal for season 2022 from Gisborne, number 27, Braden White. Second best in the field is awarded the WorkSafe AFL Victoria medal, and Matt Piper of AFL Victoria will present that. It also goes to a Gisborne player, number 22, Jack Reaver. For the first time since 2006, the Gisborne Football Netball Club are senior premiers, and to present the premiership medals will have some of our Aussie players as well as FNL or share our history. Number 1, Bradley Benaki. Number 3, Jack Scamlow. Number 4, Ethan Mims. Number 5, Matt Panuccio. Number 7, Nick Dorwood. Number 8, Matt Cassidy. Number 9, Seb Belbartel. Number 10, Ethan Foreman. Number 12, Liam Rogers. Number 13, Zach Vescovi. Number 17, Liam Spear. Number 18, Sam Rayo. Number 19, Quinn Lakey. WorkSafe AFL Victoria medalist, 24, Luke Ellings. Number 25, Josh Kemp. Number 27, Westerfield, the Nolde medalist, Braden White. Number 29, Ben Eels. Number 35, Matt Merritt. Number 41, Matt Weaver. Number 52, Jaden Owen. Gisborne Bulldogs Premiership Captain, number 48. And the Premiership coach, Rob Walden.
Just like to, obviously it's a tough situation right now for Darryl and Shannon being a fantastic new year. I know you don't feel like it's good enough to make for this couple of days. You go back and reflect what the year you've had. Obviously the last 5 or 6 years you've had been amazing. You don't just have much support up here, but we actually like you because you're a corporate club, you're well coached, well organised, and we will follow what you guys been about advice. So well done, thank you very much, but thank you. To the league, putting on not so much a super day, weather, we're working on that, but the ground was super big, the crowd has been great, and thank you for the efforts today. To our footy club, to our sponsors, to our committee, all our volunteers, we thank you very much. I think it was 4th or 6th today, just great where our club's going. We love it, we'll have a good night tonight. To our playing group of 60 odd players, we all thank you very much. I know 22 individuals today, but it takes every single person involved here and here to part of the tickets where we are now. So thank you everyone there involved. To our staff, coaching staff, to Dallas, Nico, and really thank you very much for one and a half guys, because without you guys we'd be nothing here. We've also had a couple of boys miss out, Joe Lynch, Normo, Matt Ward, Scotty Ross as well, you know, really those two blokes tested their leads during the week, knew they'd be in trouble, they busted their butts, so we thank you guys very much. To our lucky 22, you boys, we say 4,000 hours, 120 minutes, been fantastic. Well deserved, guys. Congratulations, enjoy.
Thanks to Rob. There is only one order of business left in season 2022, and FNL Board Chair Carol McKinstry will present the Bendigo Advertiser Premiership Cup. 3 years in 2022, the Gisborne Bulldogs. That concludes our presentation. Thank you everyone for being here today. Please ensure that you get home safely. Thank you.